Yeah, I'll do the intro.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. You probably heard that a little bit there, but hello, everyone, and welcome to a special event here in Monaco. And as you probably heard, I'm joined by Toussaint, the freshman gang, back again for another race. That went horribly. For another race. This one a little bit different though. We've had quite a few different races this week, wouldn't you agree, Toussaint? Quite a few different ones compared to what we normally have on Gavra.
Yeah, so we've had a race that's all about teamwork in the Golden Crown. None of that today, though. I would expect to see, as we've got 14 drivers all trying to go for the win at the Jewel in the Crown here. Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix, 100% races, and so we've got 78 laps to look forward to. This 3.3 kilometre circuit, that's 2.075 miles for all of you lot who live in.
All you geeks out there, all you stat geeks out there, like all the statistics. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I, for one, has never commentated on a 100% race, and I'm assuming you never have either, Toussaint. So this here is going to be a bit interesting because how long will we be able to last before we just keel over? Just you know.
I mean, I have absolutely no idea, but I believe we have got quite a few drivers out on the track right now. I've got F1 Lover, he's about to start his qualifying lap down into turn one. He grazes the barrier a little. I believe
it's Julio, might be the first driver on track at the moment to come in and put in a time as he comes down now towards the Grand Hotel here, and he's going to go down towards the waterfront here before he goes into the tunnel, and it's going to be interesting to see.
As now the Red Bull driver comes to blast through the tunnel now, 167 miles an hour there, back out into the tunnel, braking now down into the Nouvelle chicane, which, as I made a quite embarrassing mistake with that last time, it is here in Monaco, not at Spa, so. As he's actually come through to back now through the swimming pool section, that's an awesome place to watch Formula 1 cars go. They're fully committed through there. He's grazed the wall again there on the exit of the swimming pool chicane. Down to first. He's run out of VRS though. It's Julio. He's going to come to the line now.
Oh, sorry, Natty was out in front. I apologise. I didn't see him. But
he's gone to the pole with an 11 flat. What can Dutchy do?
Yeah, it's Julio is put in an 11.0. So let's see what.
Oh, and there's pandemonium in the final sector.
Oh, there's a big log of cars. It hasn't affected Play Dutchy though. It hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't. He's going to come across the line. We know how fast Play Dutchy is. We've seen him.
11.2.
Yeah, we've seen him in the Golden Crown, and we've seen him win the Super League Championship. So we know how fast Play Dutchy is, and on the medium tyres, an 11.2 there. Decent.
And his teammate Pierre are out on the soft tyres straight away, so already we've got differing strategies here at Alfa Romeo. If Pierre does decide to complete this lap, he's going to come through the first sector, now goes over the bump. It's an 18.8, so it's the fastest first sector of anyone so far. As now we come down into the Lowe's hairpin. Oh, a little lock up there. He's with the apex a tiny bit as Dan Schneider now goes to the pole for 1 minute 10.8. Very good lap there from the not from the Red Bull, from the Racing Point. As now Pierre is coming through the tunnel, so going to accelerate up through the gears. Got yellows in sector 3. It's Julio's got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Natty. He's across the track at Tabac there. Pierre might want to watch out.
Dan Schneider put in a time there of a 10.8.
Oh,
so
no!
There's going to be a big crash, and you've already found out what Monaco can do in terms of if a car goes off here, Toussaint, then it's going to cause a bit of a backlog for the rest of the drivers.
As Pierre has been it's Julio has been disqualified from the session for a collision with Play Dutchy. So he spun in the middle of Tabac there, and he couldn't get the car turned around in time. And unfortunately, Pierre came through and collected him, and he was disqualified from the session after a collision with Play Dutchy. So that ruined Pierre's lap there with that mistake from the Red Bull driver.
Definitely, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm trying to get I don't know if anyone is actually, how many people are viewing at the moment? 10 people. Hi, hello. I'm trying to find out what you're saying, but just bear with me a minute. I'll try and get into the Netboy does join, but apparently he did message Gavra, but I don't know. He's joined anyway, so
I guess we'll be starting from the back in the 100% race at Monaco, so it should be fun.
It's unfortunate, but there's nobody really out on flying laps at the moment in terms of if they're already put a lap time in. A few drivers out on a lap at the moment. Looks like AB Tech is here, coming around the hotel. the hotel hairpin there, but yeah, this track, a very, very technical one to say, but also quite a slow one, and also quite a short one, so it's a bit interesting in how this track is, and obviously a really famous track.
As that's been said, Antelope's out on the lap on the medium tyres. Let's see what he can do. It's coming through. Oh, so Dutchy goes to the pole over 1 minute 10.5 on the medium tyres.
Yeah, that was on the medium tyres as well. So
he has done 3 laps on those now. So whether or not he'll choose to start the race on those or not will remains to be seen at the moment. As you're watching Antelope now come through below hairpin and down towards Portier here, shifting up through the gears down to second now until it gets a decent exit into the tunnel. So it's going to be shifting up through the gears once again. The Renault on those medium tyres, the yellow wall tyres going awfully nicely there, the yellow colour scheme on the Renault. He's come down to the Nouvelle chicane. He's gone in a little bit hot though. Clips the second chicane.
Yeah, a little bit deep into that corner. A little bit deep into that corner there. He had to ride the curb a little bit as he came.
But he's done the fastest middle sector.
Fastest middle sector for Antelope, and it's really clean through the swim pool section. He's coming around now towards. I've lost all my memory.
Raskas, thank you. Anthony knows. Back on the DRS now, down the main straight, which isn't a straight, it's more of a banana, but he's going to come across the line now. It's in 1 minute 11.5, so it does put him 4th place. 1/10 off Rick Holt in the racing point.
Nice start from him there, and then professional commentating from him, forgetting corner names on one of the most famous tracks on the grid. So
probably the most famous track.
Probably the most famous track on the grid. I can't believe forgetting. Could you get famous? But F1 Lover here is on the softs at the moment. He's come through the tunnel. He's on a flying lap. He's one of the drivers who hasn't put in a sector. He's one of the drivers that hasn't put a time in the moment. He's a little bit deep. Wide. He's a little bit deep into the Nouvelle chicane as he'll come round now towards the swim pool section. Remember my corners this time as he comes round now. Into the chicane here, and it'll be coming up towards Raskas.
Yes, Raskas.
Yes, Raskas. He comes round here towards final corner. Chicane
back on the DRS
end.
now. He's coming through the line after Anthony knows to the line. It's a 1 minute 12.4, so it's only 6th place the Mercedes driver behind his teammate and validates his in lap. As we've got GSY Bates on an outlap as well. He's gone very... big slide for Anthony Nose there. Honestly thought we were going to see a Williams in the tyre barriers, but thankfully not. He's going to come through Sandoval now. He's hit the wall.
Ooh, a little bit of a hit in the wall there, yes. And
no damage done as he blasts now up Beau Rivage. That Mercedes power unit working strong in the back of the Williams. He's gone very wide down his entrance to Casino. Careful, he's hit the wall and he's got wing damage. I expect he'll back out of the lap. 4/10 down, he's nearly hit the wall at Massenet. Mirabeau even, sorry, as they come for the low hairpin now. As I'm going to see if anyone else is on a lap at the moment.
Piero's on a lap at the moment. Keep an eye on him as he's come through the swim pool section. Down towards, he'll be coming up towards Raskas now. Let's see if he's going to maybe get a good lap in here. He's one of the only drivers not to put in a lap yet as he comes round through the final corners. As he goes down the straight. He's got DRS. What time did he pull in? And he goes
10.
second.
8.
A 10.8 there for Piero, behind Play Duchy by 3/10. So that's a good lap there from Piero.
Yeah, but he very nearly collected his teammate who came out of the pits there. I think as you heard me exclaim on the commentary there. But yes, right now Play Duchy is on the soft tyres at the moment, but his fastest lap was done on the medium. So whether the two Alfa Romeos are actually going to both start on the soft tyres will play into account when they come into the pits for their, one and only pit stop I expect they'll be making in this race. But, as Dirty Larry has hit the wall on the exit of Casino there. He hasn't got any front wing damage, he's on an outlap right now, but he has to get out of the way for... he's on a Nico Rosberg.
Careful here. Looks like Dan is on Dan here on a flying lap as he comes through the final few corners. He's going to come up to the line. Is it going to be quicker?
10.5.
2/10 quicker and almost goes faster than Play Duchy. That was a very good lap there from Dan.
He's coming towards the end of his outlap now. If you want to go on board with him, Tiger, I'll do my best to give you
yes. Give me a little track commentary.
Lap
Everyone loves those.
As this might even be the pole that we're about to watch here, coming round the final corner now, sticking it close to the wall. As on board with Play Dutchy, your Super League champion, down into the first corner, third gear, short shift to fourth. Now blasting up Beau Rivage and the Alfa Romeo, sticking it close to the wall as nice as you can. Very nice driving here from Play Dutchy. Through Casino now, down to third gear through the second part of Casino, very nicely done. So we're coming down towards Mirabeau, down to second gear, no locking off the first corner, front right tyre. He's a 10th up, so he's fastest first sector of anyone so far. Through the low hairpin now, as they're coming down the hill towards Portier. This is Portier coming up now. They haven't put up the mural in the game, which is nice. We get to see the sea. As now through the tunnel, the classic Monaco tunnel, what this track is, well, cultivated a bit for, as I'll come out of the tunnel, blinded a bit by the sunlight, 100-meter board, looking for the break into Nouvelle Chicane. Hook up the second apex. He's cut the corner. Invalidated lap for Play Dutchy. Lap has been invalidated.
And after all of that commentary, invalidated his lap
wasted.
and wasted away by Play Dutchy. But it's unfortunate for him, and yeah, it is quite difficult on some of these corners here to invalidate your lap, especially the Nouvelle Chicane. You want to be careful on the entry because there's that little wall that sticks out and it usually catches the rear of a lot of cars as they try to turn in and get the apex, but also if they go too deep or too wide into that corner, then it can cause a corner cut and it can cause a lot of time to be lost.
Oh, as Play Dutchy's hit the wall in his second attempt at a flying lap. He might run out of ERS though, as he's coming through Casino now. I probably won't do another.
It's interesting to see where drivers are pulling over. Like he found it open, he was down at Mirabeau Bass there, and just pulling over to the side, like it was very, very tight between the two cars. So it shows that wheel-to-wheel racing can be done here, but it's very, very difficult to overtake around this track, as we're probably going to see throughout this entire race.
Sorry, yeah.
So where did you go?
Yeah, sorry, I just had to get a charger for my phone. As I'm looking at Tunchuri right now, he's also validated his lap, unfortunately. As hello, ex-Natty G in the comments there.
How have you got there before me?
Oh, as Tunchuri's validated his lap once again. As all the drivers actually have gone for a soft tyre, which is interesting. Ex-Natty G in the pits currently sat on the soft tyres as well, as Jutsikev is on an outlap on the soft tyres. I'm sure I've absolutely butchered that pronunciation, but we'll go with it. He's coming from the Nouvelle Chicane now. I don't think anyone's on a lap except Antilopen, though his first sector hasn't exactly set the world on fire. So we're coming through the tunnel. Dan shows 100 meter board braking. He's every time I see Antilopen come into the Nouvelle Chicane, I think he's going to overshoot it, but he always manages to make it stick somehow on the braking. So he has a very good front end there with his setup. Obviously maximum downforce around here. Again, flying through the second part of the swimming pool section on those 5-lap old medium tyres. Whether or not he'll choose to start the race, and that remains to be seen. So coming around the final corner now, through Anthony Noakes back on the DRS. Sticking it close to the rule on the right-hand side. It's going to be a 10.7. And he actually goes fourth ahead of Piero.
Oh, that's interesting to see. Antilope, a very good lap from him on the medium tyres. He's been on those medium tyres for a while, actually. 6 laps done on them. But
I was going to say, but Tiger, he's done that time on 6 lap-old mediums, literally as you were talking about his tyres. He won't want to start the race on those, I would have thought. He has enough time, probably, to come back into the pits and change for a set of softs, but would you really want to start a 100% race here on 6 lap-old mediums?
6 lap-old mediums, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see as, yeah, I wonder, just give me a second. Why is this? Oh, it's frustrating me. Having problems just seeing.
Ooh, as Rick Holt got very close to the wall there and Beau Rivage. He's come back in for a nice apex there at Casino. Now down the hill, short shifts to fourth, rides over the bump. He's 4/10 up in the first sector.
Who's 4/10
Rick Holt is 4/10.
Rick
Holt. As he's coming through the lowest hairpin now. It's been a lightning first sector by Rick Holt. He's still in first gear as he come down now towards Portier. He's currently on the front row. It's looking like a lap that could be good enough for pole. Antelopen's out of the session.
Oh, Antelopen out, so Antelope will not be able to improve. Yes. Let's see what Rick Holt is going to do. Is he'll be coming down now towards Nouvelle Chicane.
Oh, as he hasn't cut it, he runs over it. Very nicely done there by the Racing Point. So
he's coming down to back now. Let's see what he does in the second sector.
He's 3 tenths up.
It isn't the fastest though, second sector.
But he's hit the wall.
Oh, he's hit the wall, but I lost him a lot of time. That probably would have been a full retirement if that was simulation damage. But,
but
he's coming now around. He's got DRS down to the line. Will he improve?
10-0.
Fastest, a 10-0 from Rick Holt. And that is now on pole here at the moment. Rick Holt in the Racing Point. That's a brilliant time.
What a lap. As whilst Play Dutch hasn't come back out yet on a fresh set of soft tyres, he is out now. He's only 1/10 up though through the first sector, coming through sector 2 now through Portier, and coming into the tunnel. A lap that will an astounding lap there from Rick Holt. He's not the Super League champion off the pole at the moment. Pole position is really important around here, as most of the people watching will well know. As coming through to back now. The Play Dutch, he shifts down an extra gear. He's got the fastest second sector of anyone though. The Super League champion fighting back through the second part of the swimming pool chicane, and now down to second gear for La Rascas. Hooks it up very nicely. Slight lock up of the right front though. Through anti-nose, back on the DRS. He's going to keep it close to the wall on the right hand side. Can Play Dutchy take back pole? No, he can't.
Oh, he can't.
It's second.
No.
He's second on the front row.
He's a 10th off of his time there. That's so close between the drivers, and Play Dutchy not being able to beat Rick Holt's time. And
but
Rick
Piero
Holt,
is still on the lap. Piero's gone 400ths up in the first sector.
Rick Holt here, who I have not seen much racing from him, is putting some outstanding pace here already, Toussaint. And this is looking to be a very, very good race.
Definitely, he's going to have the Super League champion on the front row alongside the new pretender, Rick Holt, it looks like. Unless Piero has anything to say about that, he's coming through second sector now. I don't think people who are on a flying lap now are going to get to the line, so I don't think Ex-Natty will get to the line. Dan Schneider definitely won't get to the line. But Piero on a flying lap now, he's in the fastest middle sector of anyone by 0.4 of a second. Piero 4/10 up here at the death. Could Piero snatch it? Then we're coming through La Rascas, down to second gear. Can he knock Play Dutchy onto the second row of the grid here at Monaco? He's going to have the DRS open, keeps to the right hand side, coming to the line now. Piero goes second.
Piero's second. He goes ahead of Play Dutchy. He goes
by
ahead of Play Dutchy.
200ths of a second.
Everyone's got a final lap. Play Dutchy's down on his time. Play Dutchy doesn't improve. Doesn't improve. I think the timing's a bit off here, Toussaint, because I believe Play Dutchy came across the line when the timer had gone down. And we'll have to see when the first driver comes across and the checkered flag comes out. As Tunturi retires.
As Ex-Natty though is up on his time now. He's just coming. Oh, he's nearly hit the wall on the exit of Portier there. That was very close. But at the moment then our timings have glitched out, so we don't know quite how much time is left. We've got yellows in sector 1 and 2. That we do know. We're coming through the low hairpin now. Low hairpin. Nouvelle Chicane with Ex-Natty G into Tobacco, even if I can get my corner names right. Now through the swimming pool section, high speed part, he's 800ths down on his lap. As they were coming up towards La Rascas. We've got a Ralph Romeo going slowly. Play Dutchy's also on another lap. What can he do for the middle sector? He's got traffic though. Play Dutchy has traffic in the form of Dirty Larry. He's 2/10 up. But will the Haas get out of the way in time? No, it doesn't. The Haas has massively put off Play Dutchy.
Yeah, the Haas is really getting in the way. I don't think Play Dutchy's going to improve.
And how much time has that cost him? But Play Dutchy's going to come to the line now. Can he prove us wrong? Oh, yes, he can. He goes to the pole.
2 quicker. 9.9 from Play Dutchy, and Rick Holt isn't going to be able to improve. Piero isn't going to be able to improve. Everyone is finished. Retired. That's it. Play Dutchy snatching it in the final seconds of this qualifying session to take pole here in Monaco. And wow, that was brilliant.
What a dramatic end to that qualifying session there. So Play Dutchy will be your pole sitter then, and he'll be joined by Rick Holt on the front row, preventing an Alfa Romeo 1-2, so they're not going to walk away with this one. Dan Schneider completes the Alfa Romeo Racing Point checkerboard in 4th. We've got Antelope in 5th on the medium tyres. We'll see how that works out for him. Ex-Natty in 6th, Before You Die in 7th, AB Tech is in 8th, Jutsi in 9th, F1 Lover in 10th, GSY Bates just outside the points paying positions in 11th for qualifying, Dirty Larry in 12th, and Shuri in 13th, and It's Julio in 14th, who was unfortunately disqualified there. He said that he spun in the worst place and then couldn't get back because his car was stuck. So unfortunate for the Red Bull, but he will be starting from the back of the grid. But that is hugely impressive there by Rick Holt. I think they can be very happy with that.
Definitely, we'll be very, very happy with that time. And throughout that whole thing, I've been trying to get this flaming thing.
What are you trying to do?
I can't for some reason. Oh, I'm just having enough.
As the hi to everyone in this chat.
Hi
Jutsi. We've got a Dutchy fan apparently. Well, he's already got one prediction right, Dutchy for pole. Let's see if we can pick up the winners. Well, we have got Met Boy on the grid, so we are going to have 15 drivers to take the start of the race here.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting to see as getting ready now. We'll be ready to start this race, and I'm very excited here to say this is going to be very interesting because not much overtaking happens on this track. I mean, it is a very, very difficult track to overtake on. So it's going to be mainly about strategy when the teams will pit. Who's going to maybe go longer into the first stint and shorter in the second, and it's really going to base, but we are looking for a one-stop here mainly.
Yeah, we are definitely looking for a one-stop. I think wherever the drivers will go to the mediums or the hards will remain to be seen, but track position is key around here. You don't want to give up track position or a safety car so that you have fresher tyres, because it's very unlikely you'll be able to make an overtake unless you have a huge advantage over the car behind. As you say around here in Monaco, you only have to go, well, you have to go as slow as you can to win the race. And so it's very much a case of tortoise and hare. You've got to think about the long game around here.
You definitely do, and this is gonna annoy me. I'm having trouble with the chat. I'm getting chats, and then suddenly just all of them disappear, and it says I'm disconnected from the chat. I don't know why. I didn't have this problem yesterday.
I can see all of the chat on my phone. Well, thank you to all 20 people who are watching. Currently got the drivers on their formation laps. Just to let you know, all the drivers outside of the top 10, what tyres they're starting on. So we've got GSY Bates, who has stuck to his guns with the soft tyres, and Dirty Larry and Tanchuri have gone for the medium. It's Julio's gone for the soft tyres, and Met Boy is on the medium to round out your grid today outside the top 10. As Play Dutchy, I think he'll be very pleased with that pole position he was able to do.
It was brilliant time from him, snatching it at the end there, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in terms of all of these drivers who might try and go for a sneaky little pass there into turn one, but it's very, very difficult because you don't want to cut the corner as well, otherwise penalties can be given out.
Definitely, in real life, they've had a 100% safety car rate here at Monaco from 2010 to 2019. So hopefully we won't get too many repeats of that today. We do have a limit on the number of safety cars we can have during the race, but hopefully we'll be able to go cleanly here. It's going to go to 5 red lights now for this Monaco special event here at Gavra Racing, and it's lights out.
No, it isn't. It's happened again. This happens every single time.
Every single time we commentate, this happens.
And it's lights out and away we go, and Play Dutchy after a good start here, and he's going wheel to wheel already with Rick Holt. Piero down the inside. It's wheel to wheel racing by most of the cars. They're going to start going up the hill, and it's going to be very, very action packed already. It's Rick Holt and Play Dutchy. Rick Holt and Play Dutchy going wheel to wheel. Rick Holt starts behind. There's an incident at the back.
We've got Yellow's massive crash.
Big crash.
It's Julio, Met Boy, and Dirty Larry.
Dirty Larry, all just involved in a crash.
Massive safety car. We have a safety car.
Yeah, safety car, and these drivers are going to have to get out of the way here.
Julio is stuck. Julio is stuck.
We already knew here that there was going to be some form of issue, and I believe already we've got an issue here.
These
cars are just stuck on top of each other. They've got
to be safe. They've got to be careful because the safety car's coming.
The safety car's just going to wait.
Oh, they're both going to get disqualified.
Yeah, Dirty Larry was disqualified, and it's Dirty Larry's disqualified.
Have they both been disqualified? They have.
Yeah, I believe they have.
So very unfortunate there for those two. So we have a safety car straight off the bat here. But Play Dutchy got through that critical phase. The start of this race still in the lead. Met Boy's going to have heavy damage, I believe, on the front of that Ferrari. Yeah, he has. Before You Die has left the session, so he won't be very happy about what happened there at Beau Rivage in the first lap. Oh, he's got cars in the pits.
Oh, there's cars in the pits.
Rick Holt's at both racing points in the pits.
No,
but that's going to destroy their race.
Snaddy in, Tech is in. Judsey in, F1 Lover in. There's quite a few drivers in here already. Oh, the Mercedes having to stack.
Has a 5-second time penalty.
Do you see the Mercedes having to stack? Someone's got wing change. It's Judsey's got wing change and he's having to stack. And now that's really slowed F1 Lover down because F1 Lover's now stuck. What's happened? There's something gone terribly wrong here because F1 Lover isn't allowed to go into the pits.
I think that's a glitch. I think Tiger. I think I think his tires are actually being changed. But yeah, there you go.
Oh, there
his
we go.
tires were changed, but it doesn't show up on screen.
That
it is
weird.
very strange.
But all those drivers pitting early, all of them. If we can just have a look here.
That's interesting.
Hards. Everyone on hards. Met Boy though going on to the set of softs.
They're going to the end of the race, Tiger. They're going to the end of the race. I remember seeing some that the hards can go for 77 laps or something like that around this track. So all of those cars have come in on the first lap now. They've got their pit stop out of the way. So Dutchy and Piero, they need about a 20-second gap here to still come out in the positions that they are. But those cars who are on the hards, they will not be able to overtake anything.
Definitely, it's gonna be interesting. Just quickly to say, is there anybody in the chat or not, or am I just being dumbass?
I can see the most recent message I can see is when Jitsukev said hey.
Alright, okay, so there is no one. Okay, I just thought that my chat was broken again. It's working now, but we're here. A safety car already to saying we knew something was going to happen. Monaco's tight track, and if you're going to go wheel to wheel up the hill there, it's not going to be it's not going to end very well for these drivers, and it's going to be interesting to see how strategy turns out here because everyone's pit early here. Gone on to it's interesting because we've got a few people here to say who've gone onto the set of mediums early.
I think those may be able to get you to the end with a lot of tyre management, but that's really interesting to see now. We've got a very strategic race, I think, coming up here, folks. As F1 Lover, despite having those pit lane issues, will be able to join the back of the grid, so he won't lose out too much, I wouldn't have thought. But they've now had 2 laps at safety car speeds. Like, more or less nothing's been taken out of those tyres. I mean, I can completely see... yeah, I think he was disqualified on that one.
That's interesting to see, but everyone's now behind the safety car. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting already to say 3 laps in out of 78 and a safety car already. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the last.
Definitely not, as I think we've got our 5th Beau Rivage and lap 1 thing to go by. Hopefully we get slightly more finishes than they had in 1996, but yeah. We've got F1 Lover now joining the back of the grid. We might be able to have a safety car in. The safety car will be in this lap.
Safety car in this lap.
So Play Dutchy now effectively becomes the safety car in the final set, so he's backed up the pack a lot.
It's what you call him, the de facto safety car.
The de facto safety car, yes. As now the safety car's going to come run into the pits where this Play Dutchy decides to go. It's down to him. F1 Love's got a 5-second time penalty. Play Dutchy is gone.
Play Dutchy's gone now. Play Dutchy trying to get the jump on Piero at the start, and everyone's going to now be bunched up quite a bit here, as there was a few drivers at the back who just caught... Oh, someone's round. There's a Haas round. It's a Haas round of Tekkers.
Oh, it's Tekkers.
It's Tekkers, and he had to just stay there, Toussaint. He was in the wall, and he had to just stay parked where he was to let the rest of the drivers go around him. And I think a few drivers may have made contact. Yeah, it looks like the Mercedes of F1 Lover did. He's got front end plate damage, and I think maybe Met Boy as well.
So we nearly had Rick Holt there going for a move on the Williams GSY Bates. He needs to get this move done. He can't let the 2 Alfa Romeos disappear out of sight.
Definitely.
So we might see him get a little bit punchy here. As Dan Schneider's all over the back of Ex-Natty as well. But here comes Rick Holt.
He's going to be a bit interesting here because if he doesn't get this overtake done, it's going to allow these drivers to push ahead, and he'll just be stuck behind him.
He's going to look to the inside into the Newville chicane. He's done what Nick Heidfeld did to Fernando Alonso, but he's gone off the track. Will he have to give back the position?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he does.
He might have got a warning. He might have got a slight warning there for corner cutting.
He's got away with it.
I think he's got away with it. Oh, he just clips the wall there. And but an interesting move there from Rick Holt, and maybe could have broken a little bit earlier.
Oh, but DSY Bates has gone wide. He's taken ex-Natty with him, and now Dan Schneider's up into 5th.
Oh, now Bates into the pits, and Bates got bad damage, and he's already come into the pits, and there's even more carnage. This already caused much carnage, and we've already got some intense racing here already in these opening laps.
Well, yeah, an action-packed few laps we've had so far, as Rick Holt now looking to close to the back of Antelope, who is glued to the back of Piero. Are those softs beginning to go off already? Surely not. Or he's just gone very wide there into Mirabeau.
Maybe Piero running a little bit slow here, but if you go down to the back here as well, there's 2 Mercedes drivers going at it here. One of them's got end plate damage, I believe. Oh, sorry, no, it's a Mercedes and a Williams going on it here of F1 Lover and Tunturi there. F1 Lover has got a bit of wing damage, which around these corners
Piero's locked up into turn 10 and 11. And now that's going to allow Antelope to close even more to the back. And the DRS won't be nailed this lap, but it will be next lap. As Piero now really looking like he's struggling around the streets of Monaco at the moment. But if you look at Rick Holt, look at Rick Holt's telemetry there, Tiger. You can see already has a yellow fuel light warning. So he is not saving fuel. He's pushing as much as he can. But Antelope all over the back of Piero. Going right on board of him now to come down in towards Sandoval.
It looks like Rick Holt maybe trying to get closer, maybe force a mistake into these two drivers.
Twice on the front.
Antelope might go for it up the hill. Someone's off in sector 3. I'm not sure, but Antelope might have a look for it. Will he have a look for it maybe down the inside? I know you can maybe
Surely not now.
Maybe you can go for a little bit of an inside line into that corner, but the exit isn't great at all. But what that's allowed there, Tucson, that's allowed Rick Holt here to get a gap here, and Rick Holt maybe trying to force a mistake into these 2 drivers as Tunturi comes in to fix his damage. And I was going to say,
Piero is really struggling on these soft tyres, and Alfa Romeo not taking too kindly to them at the moment. They're going to come through the tunnel now. Antelope will have the run.
Antelope's going to have the run. The only place where you'll probably be able to see overtakes on this track. Will he be able to make one here? Is he's going to look for a move? Oh, Antelope close behind. So close behind there, Antelope, but he comes out just behind him here, and that there, Toussaint, is really the only place here you can make an overtake. As
potentially into Sandoval if you have enough of a run, but Piero's had a bad run through the second part of the swimming pool section now. As Antelope's all over the back, Tunturi's out.
Look how close this is. Is that another safety car?
Antelope's going to have DRS
look
now.
How close these drivers are to each other. Well, Antelope's
going to look to the inside, but he can't. He can't do it there.
First corner, no, he doesn't. And now they're going to look for a move up the hill here. Will he maybe go around the outside or down the inside? It's going to be very difficult for him. He might have to wait for the tunnel. Will he be able to go
Antelope had quite a big sideways moment there.
Rick Holt to get so close down. You can maybe go for an inside line into this corner. Yeah,
we've got a driver off.
Yeah, that's someone into the wall. Is it Tunturi?
Yeah, that's why he's retired.
I believe it is, yeah.
Oh, but these drivers now nose to tail here in a typical Monaco traffic jam.
Think about it. What is that's going to allow is here if these drivers here are going to have a battle here. These drivers here are going to be having a battle. That's going to allow the drivers behind of Dan here to get involved as well. Is Antelope's going to be looking for a move? He's going to go around the outside.
They're side by side to the new chicane. He's got the move. He's pushed up Piero around, and Piero's still on the inside. Can he hold it into the back? Antelope's got it.
Oh, he's got so close as Antelope. And abrasive move, a little bit of contact.
What a move!
Brilliant move there from Antelope.
But what a move by the Renault driver.
But as I was saying to Saint, Dan here is going to try and now get involved with the rest of these drivers as he's behind his teammate in the racing point.
Piero's got front wing damage. You see the ball with the exit of Anthony Nose. And now here comes Rick Holt. Rick Holt round the outside into Sandoval. Can he get around the outside of the Alfa Romeo?
Piero cuts the corner badly and gets a 3-second time penalty. That really
he has to give up the position.
Tuesday, both of the racing points are going to be trying to look for a move here. Will they get the move done up into the casino? It doesn't look like they're gonna. It looks like Rick Holt here might try it down to this corner. He's gonna.
Safety car! We have a safety car!
Safety car, it's F1 Lover!
F1 Lover's out!
It's F1 Lover out, and he's lost it to down at the swimming pool section. He's lost it down at the swimming pool.
Oh, sorry. I saw all of the cars starting to back out. I was like, oh, what's going on? But we have got a safety car. Piero's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car.
And Toussaint, what this has done here, this is crazy. Down to 10 drivers from 15, and we knew this was going to be a race filled with quite a few DNFs, but not as much as we have now. As Piero is going to have to, might come in under the safety car.
But now
fix his damage, and pit, and he's got a drive-through penalty to serve as well.
But surely now we'll see Dutchy come into the pits. No, he stays out.
Dutchy
has stayed out.
Maybe too early for him.
That's a key moment in the race we've just witnessed there.
Yeah, maybe too early for him to say. Maybe he feels those soft tyres could go longer. Piero into the pits. Piero into the pits, and we're talking over each other a lot, I've realised, but this is very action-packed. Is Piero into the pits here? And he's got a 5-second time penalty as well for being in the pit lane. It's gone from bad to worse for Piero. Is he coming for a set of mediums? So will he be looking to the end of the race on those?
That's going to be tight though. 68 laps on a set of mediums.
Yeah, it's going to be very tight. It's going to be interesting to see as he comes in now. And fixing that wing damage.
Oh, sorry, I'm surprised that we didn't see Play Dutchy pit there.
Yeah,
I thought that was a prime opportunity for him, because now all of the people behind can, conserve their tyres even more now under this safety car. I'm convinced that Xnati's just got a 10-second time penalty. 10 seconds,
Xnati exceeding track limits. Interesting there. That does seem a little bit harsh there. But already this race causing lots and lots of drama here as Tunturi's left the session, so he's gone now after he's had that incident, and carnage already here, but that's going to allow definitely Piero and the other cars as well as Met Boy and a few of these other cars who've had incidents at the start of this race to come around and join the back of the safety car.
Yeah, so we're going to have, I think Tekis is the last person to join up to the back of the safety car now, but with only 10 runners left, all cars who finish the race at the moment will be scoring points then. But Play Dutchy is your current leader, but Antelope has been showing some real strong pace there in second. In the Renault, we've got Rick Holt after that early pit stop on the mediums. He's up into third now. Dan Schneider is into fourth. Piero's coming to the pits again. He can't serve his drive-through penalty under the safety car.
I don't think he does. I don't think he realises it. No, he doesn't. They're backing again. They're putting on another set of mediums.
It's to serve his penalty. It's to serve his stop-go penalty.
Maybe. No, I think that he thought he could serve it under the safety car too, Sain.
No, but
I don't think he would have come in for his penalty. No, I don't think he would have come in for his penalty.
Oh, okay. I'd have thought that because we saw the mechanic stop for 5 seconds. I'd have thought that he had another set of the mediums ready to go.
Maybe it could have been that, but I think personally that maybe he thought he could have served that drive-through under the safety car, and he's come in. But actually, you have to serve it when the safety car is off the track. So,
right, so a potential massive mistake there from Piero. He's now shot down to 9th position. Can he salvage anything from this race?
I'm sure we can maybe find out after the race whether what actually happened there. But it'd be interesting to see what did actually happen. It'd be interesting to see how he's going to do in the last stages of this race. And I believe the safety car, it'll either come in this lap or it'll be out for one more lap.
I think we may wait until Tekis has caught the back of the field here. It's only lap 10 so far, so I think that's what might be happening. Because we've had 2 safety cars already in the space of 10 laps.
I know, this is insane, and they want to not use up their safety cars because only a limited amount of safety cars to Saint in these races. So it's going to be a little interesting to see on what's going to happen after the safety car restart, because it is going to get hectic.
Definitely, as Play Dutchy is your only driver right now out here on the soft tyres. Well, I think he'll have the best tyres come the end of the race, but can he make the overtakes? That's the question.
It will be interesting to see, but it's going to have to just see what happens here. Will the safety car be out for one more lap? And if you just take over for 2 seconds, I'll be...
No problem. Right now I think we're going to have Tekis catch the back of the field before the end of this lap, so hopefully we will be able to get the safety car in at the end of this lap. So as I was just saying, Play Dutchy, the only driver on the soft tyres, so he will have the best tyres come the end of the race. it remains to be seen whether Rick Holt and Dan Schneider will be able to get to the end of the race on their mediums, as Ex-Natty and Jutsikev, I'm sure, will be able to get to the end on those hards. I'm fairly certain of that fact, but Antelope and Dutchy will both have to pit. That is certain. Is now coming through the tunnel, still behind the safety car at the moment, as Tekkas has caught the back of the pack, so he should be able to have the safety car in this lap and go back racing. I'm going to sit on board with Play Dutch and see if I can see the lights in the safety car going out. Should have the notification any moment now that the safety car's going to be coming in. And the safety car will be in this lap, so we are going to go back to green flag racing here. Play Dutch, he becomes the de facto safety car. This is where they like to use as they come through the swimming pool section now.
Safety car in the lap, I'm guessing?
Yep. As now we're having Play Dutch going very slowly there through the swimming pool section. The racing point has to almost pull out. That's not good. He's gone now. He's gone at the same point as last time. As a beautiful helicopter shot there, so to see all the cars going through. Anti knows. Oh, Antelope's got a little bit wide
everyone now off, back up and racing once again here, and it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure we're going to see many overtakes for the rest of this race, to Saint, but Play Dutchy here is really going to have to gain a gap out of this safety car if he's wanted to be clear of any form of action, as Rick Holt now all over the back of Antelope once again after this safety car restart.
As if Play Dutch, he doesn't want to fight these cars on track. He needs a 20-second gap and he needs to go now. He's locked up though into Portier and Slopen, who's had incredible pace this whole race. Has really surprised me here.
Oh, there's been I think Jutsi, there's something happened here, but Metboy's moved up into 6th. I think Jutsi had a bit of maybe went a bit wide, and it looks like Bates and Metboy managed to get round him, and yeah, that's moved those two up into 6th and 7th place.
As Dutchy's locked up into the Nouvelle chicane.
Oh, that's allowed Antelope to get right behind him here as they go down now towards the swim pool section. And this is going to be interesting here.
But remember, no DRS for 2 laps after a full-blown safety car. As Dutchy needs to break that second gap that he needs to Antelope behind. Dutchy locks up again into
it's going to be interesting.
Rascas. They've got a Williams off, it's Bates.
Oh, it's Bates.
Williams off and it's Bates, and he's spun.
Yeah, Bates has spun, and that's allowed. Oh, I believe someone's going slow. What's happened here?
Tekkas. I think Tekkas Piero's in again.
No, Piero.
This must be for his drive-through.
Drive-through penalty, I believe it'll be this time. And it looked like there was a bit of a mix-up in the exit, in that entry there. It looks like Piero was going in, and then there's a bit of a wheel-to-wheel battle going up the hill between Tekkas and Bates here. Oh, and Tekkas comes out on top.
Tekkas is smacked into the wall though on Casino. Or was that just lag?
Oh no, he has. He's got a front right end plate damage there too, Saint. So he has got damage, so that's going to be interesting to see. Oh no, and he goes straight into the car. He goes straight into the tyre wall.
Is he out?
No, he's just. I think he's a little bit stuck.
But back to the lead though. Antelope now only 4/10 of a second. He's left the session. He's disconnected.
There's big lag. Yeah, big lag.
Oh, Antelope! I thought Antelope went off there. He nearly straight lined the second part of the swimming pool chicane. Play Dutchy locks up again into Raskas. That's not helping his high life of his tyres. You can see the rear of that car sliding around all over the place. As now here comes Antelope, and we're going to have DRS enabled on this lap. There we go. Notification pops up on the bottom left-hand side of the screen there. Antelope just looks so much more confident on the car into San Devot than Play Dutchy does. The front of the Alfa Romeo is squirming a little bit under braking. As now we come through Casino, Antelope and sliding the fronts through there though. It's now down towards Massenet, Mirabeau.
The corners of the track.
Different corner names.
Antelope getting so close behind Play Dutchy there, and this could be an interesting three-way battle for first place here.
Well, interesting four-way battle. Don't forget Dan Schneider, only 1.3 seconds off now. Antelope has a 3/10 gap to Play Dutchy. He's gaining now in the slipstream. Through all the way down the straight. Can he catch Dutchy by surprise? No, he can't. Dutchy locks up again into the Nouvelle chicane.
From Dutchy, and it's going to be interesting as these three cars fight. It's going to allow other cars like Dan, for example, and X90 to start catching up to this group of cars. Because we're not seeing much overtakes, and you were on about DRS earlier, but DRS really isn't a factor in this track at all, to be honest with you, Tuesday.
Yeah, no, but still, it does give the drivers more of an opportunity. Antelope will have a DRS now.
He will have a DRS going down down
Play
the straight.
Dutchy.
Will
As
he
I
get him
think
on the
Tiger
inside?
might be about to get proved wrong here. As Anselop's going to
Oh,
fall into
no,
the
he's
DRS
got
down the inside into Sandervoort. They're
they've got
wheel to
wheel to
wheel.
wheel.
They're still wheel to wheel at Beau Rivage now.
It's going to be so close
Here
to
he
the wheel to wheel up
comes.
the hill here. And Play Dutchy getting in front. And I was almost proved very, very wrong there.
What was that you were saying about DRS not making a difference, Tiger?
Fine.
Oh, Antelope's going to look to the inside. He's hit Play Dutchy. He's hit Dutchy into Mirabeau there. Antelope very eager to get past the Alfa Romeo. He nearly pitched Play Dutchy into a spin. Oh no, that could have been disastrous.
And we've seen drivers go for an overtake down that corner before, because it's a good runoff out of that corner, and you can get a little bit of speed behind the car, but the braking zone and the corner itself is really, really tight. So Antelope in there doing anything he can to get ahead of Play Dutchy, but it's going to be very, very difficult.
Definitely, as Antelope in there is he's so much later on the brakes than the Alfa Romeo of Dutchy at the moment as they're coming through. Oh, Raskas now, Dutchy locks up again. He's really not helping the tyre lifespan of his tyres at the moment. Antelope will have the DRS once again. Rick Holt's dropped back a little bit, but can Antelope make anything with his DRS now to come down towards turn 1? Just a bit too far back it seems at the moment. Back up the hill there to Beau Rivage. This battle for the lead is intoxicating at the moment as Natty G's got another 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. He's down in 5th at the moment, but the battle from 1st down to 4th, all of these drivers have all more or less been the same 3 or 4 seconds of each other. This is insane stuff we're seeing here. Top 4 within 2.1 seconds now as Play Dutchy's gotten away a little bit at the front, but Antelope's still keeping him honest. Remember, Dutchy's the only driver out here right now on the soft tyres, and he will have to make another stop. He hasn't got the gap he needs to Rick Holt and Dan Schneider, who could afford to just save their tyres, sit back, save some fuel, wait for Antelope and Dutchy to pit, and then they can start to push. And they'll be in the net lead of the race. Dutchy locks up again.
What's going to be interesting here, Toussaint, is if Dutchy pits, he'll be relying on a safety car, but what this track doesn't allow is overtakes. So Dutchy being on fresher tyres out of all the drivers isn't going to be helping him too much on this track, due to there being no overtakes. But also, Antelope just needs to keep his cool here. If he's pushing and he's going to start getting frustrated, the fact that he can't get around Play Dutchy here, and similar to the 2 drivers behind, they just need to keep their cool and wait for their moment. Maybe force Play Dutchy into some form of mistake here, which might allow Antelope to get around. But he might have a look here as he goes up towards the hotel. Are you going to make a move in the casino? Sorry. No.
Rick Holt, if you look on board with Rick Holt, you can see how smooth he's being with his steering inputs, really trying to look after those tyres. Minimal lockups, minimal sliding on the rears coming out of the traction zones. He's hit the Renault just in front of him now, as Antelope is all over the back of Play Dutchy once again. Is going to come into the tunnel. Oh, he's got a bad exit though. Play Dutchy had a much better exit, and that's going to affect Antelope's run on the Alfa Romeo all the way through this section.
That has really affected Antelope there, that exit. And he getting so close behind him as they almost touch again. And,
but he's had a bad run now down towards the back.
And that's going to allow Rick Holt, yes, as you're just about to say, it's going to allow Rick Holt to go up the inside. Go maybe have a look at him.
Rick Holt's got a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah,
Rick Holt picks up a time penalty.
It's going to be interesting. He's going to have a look into Raskas. No, he doesn't. It's going to be interesting here to see what happens.
But here comes Antelope, and he's had a bad exit though once again. That's not going to allow him to have a chance into Sandervoort, or is it? He's late on the brakes, but he just can't make it.
He just can't make it. Antelope doing anything he can to get someone out of that car.
He's trying to force a mistake from Play Dutchy, but Play Dutchy absorbing the pressure like SpongeBob right now, doing really well out here in front of the race. He just needs to go as slow as he can to win the race. That's the aim of the game here. As Dutchy now, I'm trying to work out where he'd come back out if he were to pit. It would be in between Met Boy and Jinsuke.
Look how close that's getting there through that for the Grand Hotel.
As Dutchy locks up again.
That is so close between those drivers there. They all go down to the bare minimum of. Do you know what I mean? How fast do you usually take that corner, Toussaint?
I mean, I think Antelope needs to stay out of first gear if he's trying to out traction Dutchy through the tunnel. But then again, I'm not him. He must know that feels comfortable for him in the car. As Tiger's currently sitting in his home restaurant.
Sorry.
The clink of the cutlery there. Oh, as Antelopen's hit the wall in the exit of the swimming pool section. He's all over Play Dutchy now, though. As they're coming in towards the DRS zone again, he's 3/10 behind. He's closer than he has been the last couple of laps. He's got a good exit. He's going to give Antelopen a chance. Down towards turn 1. Dutchy defends. Can Antelopen make anything of it? He's just a bit too far back.
He's so close behind. I think he might have a look. I mean, have a look here. Up. Does it go up the hill? Will he have a look? Maybe.
Not.
No, surely he can't look for a pass there. No, he doesn't. And I don't care in the chat saying nearly a 25% race. Yeah, it is. One more lap, and then we will be past the 25% mark. But remember,
but they're going to catch traffic. They've caught traffic in the form of AB Teglet, who's disconnected. And that's going to have a major impact on the race now.
Big impact in terms of this fight
as Dutchy's being held up. Dutchy's being really badly held up to move to the inside.
She's going to go down the inside. Antelopen does, but Antelopen got a better exit.
Antelopen now. Dutchy will have to go defensive.
Will Antelopen go for a move? Is he going to go down the around the outside?
Oh, it's close. He's going to outbreak Dutchy around the outside. He's made the move, but he's had to cut the chicane.
Yeah,
he's had to cut the chicane. He's had to give the position back.
And now he's lost out on Rick Holt. So Antelopen, an abrasive move there. And Toussaint, that there showing how difficult it really is in this whole entire track to overtake. I've got to say that was impressive commentating from both of us.
Definitely, yes. Antelope nearly had, that was his first chance going past Play Dutchy now, but now Rick Holt is going to have a DRS. He's going to go coming down the front straight. Now he's all over Play Dutchy. Play Dutchy has to go defensive. Rick Holt's going to go and try and look to the outside. He's going to try and get the cut back maybe. Oh, beautiful defending from Play Dutchy. They parked his car on the apex.
Rick Holt right up behind him. Rick Holt's going to look for a move.
Oh, no, I thought he was going to go for that.
I thought he was going to go for a move down the inside as well, but seemingly to say not much in terms of overtakes, but brilliant in terms of action here.
This is so tense. This is so tense right now.
Drivers getting so close to each other.
As Rick Holt is basically on the gearbox of Alfa Romeo, pushing the car around the Lowe's hairpin, as he's going to be getting frustrated. He's getting hot under the collar behind his rival in this race at the moment, Play Dutch. He's coming out of the tunnel now, down towards the New Vale chicane. He's not as... Oh, he is late on the brakes, but Dutchy locks up again. He's really not helping the life of those tyres. I know I keep saying it, but it's true. As now this four-car battle is still raging on at the moment. But we see Antelope make an early stop here, try and get an undercut and be in clear air, so we can close the gap on Dutchy in front. Oh, as he's cut the end of the chicane, though. Oh, but Rick Holt goes right into Rascas.
Oh, yeah, Rick Holt getting very close there. But it's going to be interesting in terms of stops here. Play Dutchy still having to make a stop. Who hasn't not made a stop yet? Antelopen hasn't either. So those two drivers both going to have to pit. This could be Rick Holt to win here, really. If you can conserve those 19-lap mediums and get them to the end of the race, this could be Rick Holt's. This could be Rick Holt's win here. Interestingly, though, Toussaint. If Dutchy was to pit, he'd come out around in between Metboy and Piero.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is if Antelopen and Dutchy both pit, they both have to try and work their way back up the grid. And as you've seen already from this entire race, overtaking is nigh on impossible here.
Yeah, that's what we're definitely seeing here. Even on worn tyres, it's very hard. Dutchy's tyres are 20 laps old, but you can see that Rick Holt still isn't really able to get past on similarly aged mediums, though. As Play Dutchy now is, you can see, he's starting to struggle now. He's been locking up a lot in the recent laps. Rick Holt's all over the back of him now to come through the... Oh, he's at the wall on the exit of Tobacco. He's coming through the swing pool chicane. All of these drivers have at least one penalty. We know that for sure. Play Dutchy did get a penalty for cutting corners. But Rick Holt is he's dropped back now from the Alfa Romeo, actually. He's come through the final corner now. Anthony Noakes back on the DRS. He's probably too far to try anything. Piero picks up another 3-second time penalty. Play Dutchy weaving to break the slipstream a little bit there.
Gonna be interesting. Now, hi Joe in the chat, by the way. I hope you're enjoying this.
Joe.
I hope you're enjoying this tremendous battle here. Not much overtaking, but very, very close wheel to wheel, wing to backside racing, as you probably. I don't know if that's a technical term for it, but we'll call it that. Is Rick Holt maybe gonna look for a move? No, he doesn't. What do you think? Drivers gonna look for a move? Oh, that's very wide from Antelope. That's gonna allow Dan to get involved. He does.
Antelope has damage, Tiger, on his front right end plate. It's gone.
Front right end plate damage to Antelope, and that means will he come into the pits, Toussaint, and repair that damage? I think I think
He
that
must
might be the wise option for him, as this track is filled with tight corners and tight hairpins, tight chicanes, and with wing damage.
Oh, Dan's gone down the inside. There's
contact between the two drivers.
And he's side by side, not into the back, Dan.
Go through there into the back. And
Antelopen spun, and he's lost the other part of his front wing now. And Dan Schneider's through.
Into the pits. I reckon that'll be Antelope into the pits now.
It must be. 100% agree. 100% agree. He has to pit.
Dan, what a abrasive move from him down the inside, and
oh, but here comes Rick Holt. He tried to have a look down the inside there and play Dutchy. He tried it into turn one. He's gonna have to try
it somewhere. He's played Dutchy. Oh, he's gonna look round the outside. He got so close to the wall there. Why have we never done Monaco before? This is fantastic.
But play Dutchy's defensive. Rick Holt now all over the back of the Alfa Romeo still, and there's still nose to tail. They're still going hammer and tongs here in lap 23. You've got yellows in sector 3. I'm not sure who that is. Antelope's had another 3-second time pen. Oh! Rick Holt's hit the wall and he's got damage. He's hit the wall on the entrance of Portier.
Oh no, that's so unfortunate for Rick Holt. He might have to come in as well here. This is looking quite good for Dan here.
He has to let his teammate go. He might
come in into the pits. He might make a pit stop when Play Dutchy does. He might try and match Play Dutchy in terms of pit stops. When we see Play Dutchy come in, though, he locks up again into Raskas.
Play Dutchy's in.
Rick Holt follows him. That's Dan now into the lead.
So Dan is released, but where will Play Dutchy come out? Ex-Natty's coming through the final. Oh, he's got heavy damage though. Ex-Natty on his car.
Ex-Natty bad damage. He's lost both of his end plates. So Ex-Natty come in. He opts to stay out. So maybe Ex-Natty...
Play Dutchy now leaving the pits. Where's Ex-Natty? Ex-Natty come down the front straight. Where's Dutchy's out behind Natty?
Dutchy's out behind Natty, but Natty bad damage. That's really going to be slowing Natty down. That's going to allow Rick Holt to be able to get sorry, not Rick Holt. I'm getting my words up here. Play Dutchy here. Play Dutchy to gain on Ex-Natty.
But crucially, Rick Holt is out behind Piero. Rick Holt's behind Piero. So what can the Alfa Romeo teammate of Play Dutchy here do to boost his teammate's chance of winning the race? He's had a lock-up though into, Mirabeau even, as Rick Holt will be looking to get past this Alfa Romeo and will be trying to get past the other one later on, I'm sure. As Play Dutchy now is all over the back of Ex-Natty in the tunnel, as Play Dutchy's going to go to the inside, into the Nouvelle chicane. He's got the move done in the McLaren, really nicely done there.
And we knew that was probably going to happen there. 2 seconds. Ex-Natty really struggling with that wing damage. He might as well. I think he's trying to go a little bit longer into the race, maybe get the most out of those hard tyres before he decides to maybe go into a set of softs or a set of mediums potentially.
Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do as well, but now Play Dutchy, 14.5 seconds behind. Don't worry about the Racing Points teammate, he's still behind now. We'll keep you posted as that battle develops into quite a juicy one, we're going to think.
Have a look at Rick Holt here. It's Rick Holt all over the back, and Judsey on Bates! Oh, wait, no, Bates came in, sorry. I thought that was I saw they were like 5 tenths behind each other. I thought it was an overtake, but no, Bates comes in. I don't know if he has damage here. They're preparing a wing?
They are, yeah.
It has damage, so medium tyres, and he'll be trying to go to the end of the race. And to say, I would have thought that we would have been at least halfway through the race right now. We're not even halfway yet at this point through this entire race.
Halfway. We have just cleared the I think we've just the 25% barrier. Oh, Pierre's locked up into Nouvelle chicane again, though, as Rick Holt picks up another 3-second time penalty for cutting corners.
Now into that for these drivers.
Oh, Piero, he lost it there. But now Rick Holt's all over the Alfa Romeo once again. He's going to have the DRS.
Looked like he was going for an outside round. Look like he was going for an
Rick Holt! Look at how close Rick Holt is to Piero, though.
He's trying to get so close so we can have that DRS into
He's going to have the inside. He's going to go to the inside. Rick Holt on Piero into turn 1, gets the move done.
Brilliant move there from Rick Holt down the inside into the first corner, and that's one of the main overtaking places on this track here, along with the tunnel. The exit of the tunnel is now Rick Holt will be trying to gain down on Ex-Natty. Sorry, because Ex-Natty on 24 old lap hards. Rick Holt on 2 lap old hards. And yeah, now he has the broken front wing as well. So Rick Holt will be trying to gain down on X-Natty. But most importantly, though, Play Dutchy 11.9 seconds. So keep an eye on that gap to sync, because I can imagine that'll be dropping very, very quickly.
Yeah, Play Dutchy's disintegrating that gap at the moment as Rick Holt there manages to pull off a move on Piero. That's kind of the tyre advantage that he has at the moment. Those fresh hards working against 16-lap-old mediums. As now another very nice helicopter camera shot as they come down through to back now. As Bates has picked up under the 3-second time penalty. You fit a little bit of a lull here just before I'm sure things heat back up as we get towards the end of the race. Really enjoying these helicopter camera shots though as they come through Raskas now. Rick Holt all trying to close to the back of X-Natty. 1.3 seconds of gap currently. Remember, X-Natty does have that very heavy front wing damage. I don't think Tekis has been able to rejoin the session. His car's still running around the track in AI at the moment.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I wish F120... Oh my... Oh no, sorry.
What's happened?
Jutsi almost went into the back of AB Tekis' AI car.
Oh dear.
Like, he really late on the brakes, almost lost his front wing, but
look at Rick Holt and X-Natty. Look at Rick Holt and X-Natty now.
Rick Holt has really closed down that gap.
He's pushing the McLaren.
What's going to be interesting though, what's going to be interesting though here, Toussaint, is that's going to allow Piero, as you can see, to keep that gap to Rick Holt, but most importantly though, Antelopen behind, it's going to allow Antelopen to gain the gap.
But now Rick Holt's going to look to the inside of X-Natty. He's going to do what Play Dutchy did into the Nouvelle Chicane, gets the move done. X-Natty can't fight.
X-Natty really struggling with that wing damage. I believe he really needs to come in now. If he came in now, Toussaint, he would come out behind Antelopen, but I believe he would come out ahead of Jutsi. He would come out behind Jutsi, sorry. So
someone who we've really not seen that much of since the pit stop is Antelopen. Remember how much pace he was showing before the pit stop, and now
he is gaining on this battle. He is gaining on this battle though, Toussaint. 1.6 seconds, and that gap, as you can see, is closing down. So gaining on this battle here. What's going to happen here now is this X-Natty is now causing a train of delay for these cars in their laps, as he's got the damage and he can't fight as well as the other cars.
But he's gone very wide.
Piero was looking for a move near the casino. That would have been an excellent move. He's going to go down the inside here. Interesting place to overtake, and X-Natty just can't do anything about it with that wing damage.
X-Natty needs to pit. He's hemorrhaging time at the moment now. He needs to pit. Antelopen's all over him now. He's just dropping positions left, right, and centre. If he pitted now, he might be able to jump Jutsi as well. I'm not really too sure what he's waiting for at the moment. He needs to pit.
Definitely does need to come into the pits as soon as possible without wing damage. He's just holding up car by car here, so they're all trying to have
look at
some
Play
form of a battle.
Dutchy. Play Dutchy now 7 seconds behind.
6.5 seconds now that gap is. 6.4. This is going to get close here at the end as Play Dutchy fresher tyres than Dan. It's going to be interesting to see Dan, however, if he was to pit here, Toussaint, if Dan was to pit for maybe a fresh set of mediums or a fresh set of softs towards the end of the race, would come out at the moment in between Rick Holt and Piero. Oh, I think he would come out just behind Piero in front of X-Natty. So he would be in the mix of that battle with fresh tyres. It'd be interesting, but also keep an eye on Rick Holt here, who will be able to go longer and easier and better into the race than Play Dutchy. So keep an eye on that 12.6 second gap as well to him.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at Dan Schneider's tyres and that. They've done 27 laps. We've got yellows in sector 2. Don't know what that's for really. No one has seemed to have gone off there. But Play Dutchy, the gap's 5 seconds. As I've just been looking at the fastest lap so far. Play Dutchy, get this, Tiger, 1.3 seconds faster than Dan Schneider, their fastest laps. Play Dutchy is seriously pushing now.
Play Dutchy is flying right now, absolutely trying to push for Dan Schneider in front. And it's going to be interesting to see whether he can. That gap now 4 seconds. Will he be able to bring it down? 3.9, 3.8. It is gaining, 10th by 10th. Corner, straight, all of them. The 3.7 now. It's coming down. He's going to gain on this. He's going to gain on the racing point in front. We're going to have a bit of a battle here. But it's going to be a challenge now for Play Dutchy to get around him. As we've already seen already. And I've said time and time again. Overtakes are practically impossible on this track.
Oh yeah, but I think Play Dutchy right now has such a massive tyre advantage. Whether or not that's going to remain to be true is still yet to find out. As I'm watching Dan Schneider now, he's doing his best, but he just can't stop Play Dutchy coming at him now. It's 2.8 seconds now with laps 22 laps younger tyres on Dutchy's car when compared to Schneider's. Met Boys picked up another 3-second time penalty, but they're coming up to lap GSY Bates now. How much of a role will the lapped cars be playing in this battle for the lead now, as Rick Holt is he's dropping back from Play Dutchy actually. He hasn't really got the pace at the moment to start closing that gap on those fresh hard tyres, just showing the tyre delta between the mediums and the hards at the moment.
I believe Rick Holt here might be going to maybe close that gap down towards the end of the race, and also when Play Dutchy and Dan Schneider here get involved in a battle, that will also decrease the gap down. So Rick Holt looking in a bit of a promising position. Even though he's 14.7 seconds behind, he's still looking in a good position here.
Yeah, well, hopefully his teammate can hold up.
Oh, it's a bit of a battle here going on in Sector 3, as I believe now Antelopen has still not got around Xnati yet. Xnati's 7 seconds behind Piero, and Antelopen still hasn't found the gap round yet.
And Antelopen has front wing damage again.
Yeah, I believe there was a collision down there.
But look at Dutchy and Dan Schneider now, 7/10 of a second. They're coming through the tunnel.
7/10 of a second. Well,
Dutchy's going to be really close to making this overtake.
I don't think Dutchy's going to be close enough. He'll try it maybe on the next lap. Oh, there's a bit of red end plate there. Someone, I don't know who that is. Ferrari of some sort. Met Boy. No, it is Met Boy. It's Met Boy because he's got no wing at all.
There is a lot of debris on the track at the moment. You don't want to run over that. That can give you a puncture. I have seen it happen to other drivers as Bates is being instructed to get out of the way now of the two leaders behind him. So he does get out of the way. That's going to give Schneider DRS, I would have thought, but it doesn't actually. As here comes Play Dutchy. Play Dutchy 3 tenths behind.
He's going to go down the inside. Oh, no, he doesn't. He leaves it. He leaves it, but he might
but Schneider's had a bad exit now at Beau Rivage. Here comes Play Dutchy to come up towards Casino. He's going to try and look to the outside potentially. He's going to go around the outside.
It's going to be
surely
so
not.
Close. I had the best angle of that there, as he almost went round the outside into that corner. That would have been an astonishing move if he was able to pull that off cleanly, and he almost did.
He almost did do it cleanly. That would have been the move of the season.
And that would have been one of the moves of the season, a top 10 moment worthy thing. It would have been #1 for like every single video. But
here comes Play Dutchy now to come through the tunnel. He's going to go side by side. Not through the tunnel, he's hit the wall!
No, he's hit
Dutchy's hit the wall. Does he have damage?
Yeah, he does. Front left end plate. Front left end plate for him.
Dutchy has damage.
Antelopen pits for his damage. Natty still has not pit yet for his damage. I don't know how.
Why was Dutchy looking to the outside in the tunnel there? That probably wasn't the wisest decision there from the Super League champ.
Is he going to come in?
Does he pit? He does
pit.
He
does. He does. That's allowed Dan Schneider to get even more of a gap. And interestingly...
And now Rick Holt. But Rick Holt's going to jump Dutchy.
Rick Holt might jump Dutchy here. Let's have a look. Oh, Dutchy's in.
He's on to another set of the mediums.
Happening. Rick
Holt's coming down the main straight. They've done it. He's done it.
Rick Holt is past him, but what interestingly that is now allowed to say is Dan Schneider could potentially pit, maybe for a fresh set of tyres at the end of the race if he wanted to, if he doesn't feel those mediums can go to the end.
Yeah, he could.
And might be able to get a form of comeback.
Yeah, but now Dutchy is out behind his teammate in Piero. Will Piero wave his Super League winning teammate through? They did finish 1 and 2 in the Super League, so they do have a good understanding of each other. They have good respect. Will Piero allow his teammate to go through and chase down the racing points? I think we should get the Weekend League and the Golden Crown Series because their drivers are doing really well at the moment, currently 1 and 2. They're just resorting to sign language now. As Xnati is still out with his heavy front wing damage. I think he does need to come into the pits.
Yeah, I think he will.
As GSY Bates picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane now, but we have once again hit a bit of a lull as Dan Schneider's coming up to lap the AI car of AB Techers. What can he do here? He does need to clear this car fairly quickly as his medium tyres will now be starting to feel the pain. We haven't even got to half race distance. Oh, he's hit Tekers! And he's just nudging the AI out of the way, it would seem. He's gone round the outside. That's very uncouth, but he's made it work. As the Dan Schneider does get past Tekers AI there. But that gap to Rick Holt now has come down to 12 seconds, 11.1 seconds now as Dan Schneider's trying to rid himself of the AI of AB Tekers. As Ant Loper now does the fastest lap of the race of anybody, so showing that he hasn't lost any of the pace he had from earlier on in the race so far. Currently trying to chase down Jutsukev, the Mercedes, 3.7 seconds down at the moment.
I think someone's had an incident. I think it's Matt Boy. Oh yeah, Matt Boy's just got no wing at all.
Yeah, he's got no front.
3-second time penalty.
He's got no end plates again.
Yeah. Natty doesn't have that as well, and now, oh no, Jutsy's quite far behind him. Who is that Williams got? Oh, it's the,
Bates.
sorry. Yeah, it's Bates is a lap down on Natty. It's why I'm getting a little bit confused here. Oh, there's a safety car!
Matt Boy's out! Safety car!
Oh,
no. That's a get out of jail free card for Dan Schneider. He can pit now and go on fresh tyres and come out ahead of Dutchy and Piero.
Ex-Natty as well here. Maybe Piero as well, maybe.
So this is what Natty was waiting for, I guess, as we should see him come in the pits. He does come in the pits.
He comes in.
He's obviously watching the stream.
Clearly he is. Thank you to everyone who has been viewing. If you've been, yes, thank you for there's professionalism by me, as always. Yeah, thank you for everyone joining us. If you join us for this entire 100% race, I think you deserve some sort of medal or something, because...
yeah, definitely. You are a madman, if you've got a madman or woman, if you've joined us for the whole... If you've been here since lap 1. If you haven't been here since lap 1, so just a quick rundown. We did have Play Dutchy and Rick Holt on the front row. There was a massive crash of Ravage on lap... Oh, what's happened?
Just about to say, Ex-Natty smacks the rear on the pit exit. And as we've seen, the pit exit on this track is really, really tight. That you don't want to go over the line, do you, to say? Otherwise, you can pick up a penalty. Dan Schneider's in.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's fine. Let's see what Dan Schneider's going to do. What will he go into? Is it a set of mediums?
Does Rick Holt pit? Rick Holt stays out.
Rick Holt stays out.
Oh, Schneider had front wing damage.
Schneider.
That's gonna drop him behind the Alfa Romeos. Piero's in.
Oh no, Dan Schneider's coming out of the pits. This could be close between him and Dutchy.
Here comes Play Dutchy. Play Dutchy's still on the Delta. There's Schneider. This is going to be so close.
Who will get it up at the turn one?
Schneider will cut the corner. Dutchy's got it. Dutchy's got it.
Trust two drivers.
Wow.
And that's going to be an interesting battle at the end. I didn't realise Dan Schneider had wing damage.
Me neither. I thought it was fine on the front wing. He must have picked it up.
Sometimes it does glitch where it doesn't show you the wing damage, but the drivers do actually have it. So, unless that was the case, I'm not sure.
But has Rick Holt missed a trick here by not pitting? He's on 12 lap-old hards. Play Dutchy behind is on 3 lap-old mediums.
Yeah,
and
interesting. Dan Schneider on fresh mediums. But what that's going to do, though, is that's allowed basically the top 7 here to come in, make a pit stop, fresh mediums, apart from obviously Rick Holt, and this could get very, very interesting. As we are now over the. No, we are not over.
We're still
not even over the halfway point yet.
It's a good thing we don't commentate in the Mon 24 hours.
What hour are we in? I don't know. Some hour of some sort.
Some unspeakable hour of the morning, still just sat doing commentary.
Imagine me and you just commentating until 5 AM in the morning.
God.
Oh God. Like, welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. He's going for an overtake. He did it. Ooh.
It's also probably a good thing that we don't live in Australia in that case.
Yeah, that would be very interesting there from Dan Schneider deciding to opt for the pit exit line instead of the actual racing line. But interesting is everyone's kind of caught up now. Interestingly, have a look at this two say Bates behind Piero, but Bates in 8th place.
Yeah. That in the game the lap cars can't unlap themselves, so that is
it's going to be interesting though for Antelope, and Bates is just going to have to, as soon as the safety car deploys, Bates is going to have to move out the way.
Yeah, he will do out of the way of Antelope. And oh, ex-Nazi came in very hot.
Somehow, to say, we've gone from 15 drivers to 8 because Tekis isn't in this race.
Tekis is not in this race, so we have gone from 15 to 8.
I would imagine here that maybe Bates could just move out the way under the safety car and let these faster cars get in front of him. That would
because then he'll be disqualified for overtaking under the safety car, the other 2 cars as well.
If he slows down enough below Delta, they can overtake. They can do. If you're not seeing cars who slow down under the safety car, then they ghost.
But he'd have to basically stop the car.
Ah, yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to do that around Monaco.
No, I don't think he would. You don't want to park the car in the middle of the track and off to the swimming pool
exactly.
You go.
Are we going to wait for...
it
looked like Rick Holt was coming into the pits there. That would have been a very unwise decision.
Interestingly, safety car not in this lap.
I think we're waiting for Tekis, even though he's AI.
Oh, it's going to take forever.
As Play Dutch is 1 warning away from having a 2nd warning in the race so far.
It will be interesting. Just run through the penalties. I'm getting a drink with my mouth dry.
Right.
Professionalism, everybody.
So,
it's 100%. Give us slack.
Right, so Playducci has got 1 penalty at the moment. Rick Holt is on 3 penalties, so he has 9 seconds off of penalties. Dan Schneider is on 2 penalties at the moment. Piero is on, oh dear, 3 penalties. 5 penalties Piero has. Well, I think he served one of those in the pits. Antelope is on 3 penalties so far, and ex-Natty G is on many penalties. I don't even... That is an unspeakable number of penalties. There's over 30 seconds of penalties there for ex-Natty. As we're still waiting for the AI of Tekis to catch up to the back of the field. We should be able to have a safety car in this lap though. I think he is close enough now that we can have a safety car in this lap. Just going to ride on board with Rick Holt. Safety car in this lap, so we are going to get back to green flag racing. Rick Holt will become the de facto safety car in Sector 3 as he's going to take us over the halfway point now, lap 39 of 78. It's been a pretty good first half. Let's hope we can continue it now into the second half as the safety car's going to come in the pits. Where does Rick Holt decide to go? They're coming through Raskas. He's gone. He hasn't gone yet. He's gone now. So, and we're underway after the safety car restart. Dan Schneider's had a bad run now. Antelope has got past GSY Bates. He needs to back out here. So here comes X now. Oh, X now. See Antelope. Antelope's out.
Big accident.
Antelope is round.
Antelope rounded. X-Natty hit him, and I can't think that's going to be a very pleasant conversation after the race. As
the two Williams teammates have come together at turn 1 as it looked like that GSY Bates tried to get out of the way best he can, and Natty just had nowhere to go, so that front wing that he had just prepared before the pits is just it's gone to nothing now.
What race are you watching? 2 Williams teammates?
Yeah, from the freshman league.
Ah! Yeah, the 2 Williams teammates in the freshman league colliding there, and that's going to be an interesting conversation after the race.
Yep. I think that friendship might be over.
It's going to be interesting. Has any of them got damage? Has Ex-Natty got any damage?
Natty does have damage. I think Antelope doesn't have any. So that might be the only saving grace right now for him. It's
going to be interesting as
Play Dutchy wasting no time here and getting on the back of Rick Holt. He's already all over the back of the racing point.
I was just going to say, with this lap that we're on now is now the halfway point. As we are now about to go on to the 40th lap, which is going to be over the halfway point. Everybody celebrate. Woo! And another halfway to go, another 50% race, practically. So, thank you for everyone for joining us. And there's a bit of a battle going on, so I better not do a plug at the moment. Play Dutchy goes for an abrasive move, but I'll wait until everything dies down first. It's Play Dutchy still looking all over the back here. Rick Holt, as Rick Holt be trying to trying to keep his lead here, but remember to say Rick Holt 16 lap old mediums. Play Dutchy does 16 lap old hards. Play Dutchy does fresh mediums, and Play Dutchy's gonna get him. It's an alright run.
Exit.
Yeah,
he's had a bad exit.
It's a bit of a bad exit, and I don't think he's going to get the pass done.
as it's a Racing Point Alfa Romeo checkerboard at the moment in the top 4 positions. It's like Mercedes and Ferrari at the moment. Piero picks up another 3-second time penalty just to add to the woes that he's had so far in this race. But Play Dutchy, look at how much speed he has through the corners now, all over the back of the car in front.
All over the back of Rick Holt. Oh, he's looking for a move there.
Pushing the Racing Point around.
I can imagine it's very tempting for some of these drivers to go over and overtake on these corners, but having to back out on most of them here to not cause any form of damage to all of the cars.
Crucially, we have DRS enabled. So next lap, Play Dutch, we have DRS, but he might not need it. It's up by Rivarte. Come now. Play Dutchy's on the inside.
He goes down the inside here. This will be amazing.
Play Dutchy's round. Play Dutchy's round.
And there's contact with the. Oh! He's going to have to just sit there and everyone going around him, and he... Oh, no.
He's going to get disqualified if he stays there for too long.
Bates is in the way. And that's why you don't... Oh, Nas there. And he starts stuck behind both lapped cars. Toussaint, no damage, surprisingly. But losing that rear end, Toussaint, and we knew that... We knew that was going to be tight up there. That was a very, very, very ambitious move from Play Dutchy there.
The blame for that one has to go down to Play Dutchy. He didn't need to make that. He was going to go into Portier there when AB Tekers his AI. He does get the move done, but there's never really an overtaking opportunity at that point in the course. I think Play Dutchy knew he had to get past Rick Holt as soon as possible, but he should have just waited for the corner he's coming through now, ironically enough.
Should have waited for the tunnel, maybe.
Yeah, he was lucky not to sustain damage there, but Play Dutchy going for a brash move and it didn't quite work out for him. He's now down in 7th place behind Antelope and his old arch nemesis from early on in the race.
Yeah, I can imagine Play Dutchy now be absolutely pushing it here. And remember, Toussaint, not out of this race yet, remember, because we've just hit over the halfway point, so he's still got another half of this race to go. To be able to catch back up to the grid and maybe try and make some slightly less ambitious overtakes on the drivers.
As we've now got a Racing Point 1-2, Piero now seems to be carrying the flag at the moment for Alfa Romeo, but we've got Antelope, who's also all over the back of Jutsi. I think Antelope might be looking for a move here, possibly. Jutsy's gone wide. Antelope's going to have a much better race. They go through the tunnel. Antelope on the outside, in the tunnel. You never see an overtake here, so drink it in and witness it as Antelope has swept round the outside of the Mercedes. And that's a very bold move there from the Renault.
No, very... Give me a second.
Professionalism 100 right here.
Sorry, I'm just getting comfortable, okay? I'm just getting prepared for the next 50% of this race.
Are you in your own house?
Yes, no, I've got food.
As GSY Bates has been disqualified.
Bates disqualified, and
we're down to 7 drivers.
I was just about to say I've got food and drink. That's why I'm getting getting comfortable here, preparing myself for the last stint of this race. Making sure I've got the necessities before we bunker down for the last part of this race here, but...
well, I mean, we're down to 7 drivers.
I know, down to 7 drivers here, but all of them, remember, quite close up, apart from Play Dutchy, but I can imagine Play Dutchy here really going to be pushing it, and he's already getting that gap down, and also here, with these cars... getting quite close to each other, Toussaint, all of them battling. For example, Jutsi and Antelope in here, that's going to allow Play Dutchy to catch up even quicker than he normally would.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's already gained nearly 3 seconds now on Jitsukev in front. I think Ex-Nazi and Antelope both do have damage also.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Ex-Nazi has that front right end plate damage. It's going to be interesting to see as, Antelope is still all over the back of him at the moment. Antelope picks up a 3-second time penalty. Toussaint, Antelope has front right end plate damage. Both drivers have end plate damage.
But now Antelope has... Oh, he's got more damage!
And he hits the other end plate and knocks that off. And it's gone from bad to worse for Antelope, and I feel like we need to stop...
Yeah, I was about to say, every time we talk about end plate damage, someone seems to get more damage, so...
I feel like we just need to stop talking at this point and just let everyone watch the race, to be honest.
Dan Schneider now's all over the back of his teammate. Will we see team orders
Piero getting close as well, sticking with them.
They need to be careful here because Piero is in the position to try and make an overtake. if one of these racing points makes a mistake, or goes into, or if they stop battling with each other too hard, then Pierre is right there and ready to pick up the spoils. As that would be quite a turnaround for him.
Definitely, but what's going to be interesting here is Dan Schneider all over the back of Rick Holt. Remember that tyres, Toussaint. Rick Holt, 20 lap-old mediums. Dan Schneider, your phone is ringing, is on 8 lap-old mediums. Professionalism. Oh, he looked like he was going for a move on his teammate. Both saw the same thing there.
Yeah, I thought that Dan Schneider was going to go for a move there, but why is he backed out of it? He's got
why
4
is he
tenths now.
backing out in there?
Oh, it's Anslopen's in the pits. That's going to elevate Dutch up a 3 position.
Anslopen in the pits. Exai stays out though with his damage. Looks like Antelope maybe, because I feel like maybe, especially around this track, Toussaint, you actually don't lose much time off of a pit stop, because as you can see, Antelope opting to pit for a set of softs, so he's going to maybe try and go to the end of the race.
Oh, Rick Holt's had a mistake. Rick Holt was down to 30. He's got wing damage. Heavy wing damage. Antelope's out.
Retired. Did he just retire? I think he just retired the car.
He must have done.
So
Antelope's out of this race.
Okay, let's just get this straight quickly, right? Okay, everyone, if you're viewing this, okay, we did start with 15 drivers. Okay, we are now down to 6. Okay. This is what Monaco does. This is why we don't usually have normal league races in Monaco, because this is what Monaco does. It's an interesting one, would you say, Toussaint? It's an interesting one.
I mean, that's we're down to 6 drivers now left in the race. I think Rick Holt is back in the pits then for a switch to, that would be soft tyres, I would assume. It's for the medium. That's interesting, because we did see Anslopen go for the soft tyres. He's replacing his front wing, so it's a bit of a longer stop than usual. But
interestingly though, Toussaint, in terms of Rick Holt pitting there, remember all these cars are going to start getting bunched up. I mean, keeping similar gap. There's quite big gaps at the moment, but if Rick Holt here is on a fresh set of mediums, and Play Dutchy catches up to Jutsi in front, that's going to allow Rick Holt to gain back that pit stop that he just made, that 13.7 second gap. So Rick Holt not out of the equation yet, and remember, just over that halfway point still, so we've still got quite a long way to go in this race still, with 6 drivers left.
Yeah, as all of the drivers who are still standing are on the medium tyre, so
just well done, that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, 46 laps at Monaco, we've still got about 32
it'd be interesting
to go.
here, because X90 could stay out with that wing damage. Obviously, it's going to allow Jutsi to gain an advantage. Oh, Pierre's in the pits. Has he got damage?
He must do, right?
Have they got a wing prepared?
Does. They're getting a wing ready. They're having to make new front wings down in the pits at the moment from the ones that have been smashed up. That's another pit stop there for a broken front wing. As now that's going to put Pierre out ahead of Rick Holt, but behind his teammate Play Dutchy. As we are... I think the only car that doesn't have any damage right now is Jitsukev and Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider leads this race now by 9.6 seconds.
I'll tell you something, that safety car really helped Dan Schneider out in terms of his strategy there, and he'll be able to go to the end of the race on those tyres. So it's going to be interesting here. There's not much battles going on at the moment here, Toussaint, but Rick Holt sticking behind Piero. Piero here, did Piero pit?
Yeah, Piero did pit literally just now.
Why is it saying he's still on 26 lap old tyres then?
Is he run out of tyres?
Does that say that for you?
Hang on, let me check. It does say that for me. Oh, I have to see.
He's made 4 stops in this race, Piero. Surely he should have enough, because he should have 3 sets of softs, he should have 2 sets of mediums, and then...
Oh, but here comes Rick Holt now into Raskas, separated by nothing once again. Rick Holt's looking at the back of Piero, he's going to have the DRS, we'll get into that tyre conundrum in a sec. But now here comes Rick Holt, 3 tenths behind, he might be close enough here to have a go. Can he have a go? He's going to look... Oh, he's hit! Piero's in the wall!
Why did he not?
No damage.
Tires?
No damage caused, but Rick Cole just pushed the Alfa Romeo into the
Rick
wall
Cole
there.
just giving the Alfa Romeo a little bit, pushing him into a
Little
kiss with
kiss.
the wall. Yeah, little kiss with the wall is what I was going to say. But why did Piero not? Before you have to change to.
I think what's happened to Piero is he's run out of fresh tyres.
I think he's run out of fresh mediums.
Yeah.
Because
He must have done.
Because if you keep the tires on what they are, I believe it will just change his wing.
Tiger, he's definitely run out of mediums. He's had 4 stints now on the medium. So those are tyres that he had on from earlier on in the race, and now he's putting them back on the car.
Though? Interestingly, he didn't go to the softs though, or maybe
Why did he go to the hards?
Or
Jutsicev is in. He hasn't got front wing damage, but he
does.
has got front wing damage. He's going to the soft tyre.
Does everyone want to get front wing damage, making the race Come on, guys, we're on to some action.
Well, I mean, if everybody pits, then.
Oh, Rick Cole here on the back of Piero. He's going to go around the outside into the first corner. When he get the pass done, and he does. Brilliant move there by Rick Cole. We knew he was going to get the pass done, especially with Piero running out. Surprising, I've never said that in my entire commentary life. Piero running out of medium tyres, so having to carry on the one thing. I don't think I'm ever going to say that ever again in my entire commentary life. Someone ran out of tyres.
As coming up now towards lap 50 now. Oh, X-Nazi's hit the wall of the entrance of the Newville chicane, and he spun a full 360 degrees. I just caught that there.
What has happened here? This is just gone. What has happened
horribly wrong.
Here? This is just. It was starting. Oh, actually, at the start, it's next time he's gonna pit. Surely now he
stays out.
He's got damage again. What is going on in this race?
Can you imagine if it was raining?
28 laps to go, Saints. So we're practically on a 50% on one of the tracks in the calendar. So imagine if it. Yeah, surprisingly, that's something we haven't brought up this entire race. Surprisingly, no rain.
Yeah, it's completely dry here.
Were the settings on dynamic?
I assume they were.
But anyway, so X-Daddy quite close behind Play Dutchy, but I don't think X-Daddy's going to gain any positions here, but I think it's a good time now for that plug I was going to do earlier. But so, for everyone watching, if you haven't already, make sure you pop a follow on our Twitter page so you can see every time we upload, every time we start streaming. And if you have one of those Amazon Prime accounts, why don't pop a little subscribe as well to the channel? It's going to be highly appreciated. I mean, if you easily could do that if you still have the Amazon Prime. If you have the Amazon Prime 3D trial, I think if you have Amazon Prime in general, you can just link it with your Twitch account. It becomes Twitch Prime, and then boom, you make a proper subscribe there. So you can tell I'm very new to all of this Twitch stuff, so bear with me. But make sure as well you head over to the YouTube channel. And yeah, make sure you head over to the YouTube channel where we are edging ever so closer to saying, what are we doing?
I think we're on 860, 870 something at the moment. So we're getting near the 1K.
So closer, and then you didn't say edging so close. Well, that failed.
Yeah.
But yes, 878.
It's like 10 o'clock.
878 subs on the YouTube. So if you can go pop a subscribe over there, that would be dandy. That's the word I'm going to use here. And yeah, make sure you check on our socials where we post everything that's live. So if you're out about doing your business, whatever you do during this lockdown period. Whether you're at work, whether you're not, and whether you're at work and you've got time maybe to tune in to our Twitch stream. I don't know whether you why we'd be at work at this time of night, but trust me, you go onto Twitter or Instagram. If you follow both of those on Gavra Racing, you'll be able to we'll notify you whenever there is a live stream. That I sort all of that out. So yeah, boot me up the backside if I don't do something wrong. If I do something wrong, if I don't post something.
But if you don't do anything.
But make sure also you tune in tomorrow at a certain time. To Saint, you will be able to give me a time on this when the podcast podcast will be up online on the Gavra Racing YouTube channel. Do you know a rough time for that?
Oh, Piero's in again, sorry, just as we're coming to...
Pierro in again.
He's in for the soft tyres now, so shouldn't struggle with 27-lap-old mediums this time.
Yeah, end of the race for those. I mean, I haven't really many battles.
So that would be for the fastest lap, I would have thought.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, so you were saying about the podcast?
Yeah, so we've recorded 4 episodes so far. Episode 5 should be up tomorrow around midday. I'm hoping to get it up without any technical difficulties. We've had a couple of those this week so far. But yeah, so the special guest we have on the podcast this week is Duke SL64. You may have seen him if you've been watching the Gran Turismo Sport Championship.
He did have a little bit of an appearance in F1 as well.
He did have an appearance for a couple of races in the Premier Series as well, which I won, obviously. So.
Oh, sorry. Shiver me timbers.
Oh, nice. But yeah, so that should be up tomorrow around noon on the Gavra Racing YouTube channel. If you're in the Discord server, you'll have a notification for when it goes up.
Yes, that's another thing as well. They get notified in the Discord server as well. As long as you follow Twitter and Instagram. So if you follow Twitter, Instagram, and the Discord, you get 3 notifications. Plus, if you follow us on Twitch and you use your Twitch Prime sub, that's 4. That's 5 notifications of when we come live Tuesday. And I say that's a lot. So we expect you. There was no excuses to not be here because we know you'll be here. And also, just what I've noticed here too, say quickly, AB Tech is his AI here, showing us how long these hards can go for.
42 laps so far. When will he puncture?
When will he puncture? Someone's got stuck behind him. I believe it's X-Natty.
It's Natty. That was very close.
Look at the gap to him, and look at him to gap and Rick Holt. We might have a battle here after that plug. Is Rick Holt gaining ever so close? He's going to be within a second now of X-Natty in front.
X-Natty's hit the wall again. He's got more damage.
He's got more damage.
He's got more that he has to fit.
He hasn't come in. Why is he not coming in? Rick Holt's going to just take him. Rick Holt's going to get him on the first corner. Will Rick Holt get around?
There might be an almighty crash here.
Oh, it's going to get close as Rick Holt. Oh, now he's going to defend with his life in that McLaren, but it's not going to be enough. What's Rick Holt going to do? Oh, he's going to have to stick behind the McLaren as they get so close to each other. And this, Natty
he's got more damage. Natty's got more damage.
He's hit the wall again somehow. What is this race turned into?
It's demolition derby. It's literally survival of the fittest is what we're seeing here at Monaco and Monty. But now Rick Holt hit the wall and he's got front wing damage.
But what's interesting to say is throughout all of that plug we went down to 9 viewers, and then as soon as the action started back up to 12 again. So
I guess people don't want to hear our shameless plugs.
Yeah, yes, you want it. And I didn't even finish my shameless plug because if you want to join any of the leagues, make sure you contact Gavra and any of his admin team. As Rick Holt all over the back of Natty, but
Natty has no downforce on the front end of that car.
Natty's going to have to come into the
pits.
He's going to have to come into the pits.
He stayed out, Tiger. He stayed out for another lap. He's hit the wall, bro. Here comes Rick Holt. He's going to push Rick Holt up to the barrier.
On the outside, I can barely
Can he make this work?
Natty,
no,
no, Natty! Oh, Rick Holt gets around him.
And somehow that was not a massive crash.
Thanks for finding a form of entertainment for us here. As I was saying, yes, if you want to join any of the leagues, make sure you contact Gavra. At the moment, all the leagues have stopped due to it's the end of the season, really. We are going into the new game. I'm unaware at the moment of when the new season will start in the new F1 game, but we will keep everyone posted as usual, Toussaint?
Definitely. It depends on how many people get the new game. I think we've seen that everyone in the F1 chat's already pre-ordered it, so that one looks like it's good to go quite soon, I would have hoped.
I have not yet. I'm getting very worried, but it should be fine. But yeah, if you want to do any of that, we have other leagues going on at the moment. GT Sport League, I believe there may be a couple of spaces left in that too, Saint.
I believe there's one space after we lost Froze. X-Natty stayed out again with that damage.
X-Natty stayed out. But yeah, I think there's a couple of spaces in there, and there's always Project Cars. You have Project Cars as well. We have the the Renault Megane Trophy that's just started at the moment, the Ferrari 333 SP, which is another tongue twister. We'll call it Ferrari tongue twister race.
It's the Ferrari tongue twister championship now. We discussed this on the podcast.
Yeah, we did. If you want to listen to that discussion, go to the podcast.
Well, I mean, you can't go to it now, it's not up yet.
I mean, and it's up, go to the podcast, but there'll be some top 10 moments up as well. I've been needing to do these for quite a while. I'm going to do one for each of the different leagues that have happened. So, Super, Premier, Freshman, and Academy. This will be for the whole season top 10s, though, Two Saints. So, you'll be featured in there quite a lot, I can imagine.
Yay. I'm looking forward to watching that. But right now, we have got... Well, we've hit a bit of a lull, just waiting for someone else to come in with front end plate damage, I think, now.
Waiting for someone to pit. Some action, please. Please, we need something.
As a play Dutchy still has his front wing intact, currently running 10.5 seconds behind Dan Schneider, who also has his front wing intact.
Rick Holt into the
As
wall
I
at
say
Raskas.
that,
Rick Holt into the wall at Raskas. Is Natty hasn't come in yet. How is this man driving around with that kind of wing damage on this track?
I think he really wants that podium.
Tobster in the chat says, wow, just like Monaco 96.
Well, we've still got double the finishes from Monaco 96, so, I mean, more than double if you count Techers. As Piero, now it's going to be close between Piero and Rick Holt. Piero's going to jump Rick Holt, though. That pit exit must be terrifying in real life.
No, this whole track must be terrifying in real life. Just one slip and you could be into the barrier and off you go into the ocean.
But that being said, the play Dutchy's now got that gap down to 9.9 seconds.
Rick Holt. I mean, Rick Holt trying to find a way around AB Techers' 2-lap down car. Somehow still in this race, I don't know why. I feel like the Techers could have joined back. Did he not get 2 invites?
I don't think he could join back. He can still join back if he wants, but I don't know if he can. He'll be 2 laps down.
Make the race a bit more interesting.
I feel like most of our action is coming from the drivers trying to get past Techers' AI.
I know. Techers has got end plate damage. I don't know whether that was off Rick Holt. So
Natty's finally come into the pits.
Natty finally, after all of that, comes into the pits. He's going to have a big enough gap, though, to Jutsi to make the pit stop, I believe.
No, he won't. He only has 5 seconds to Jutsi, so he's going to drop. But he has absolutely no front wing now.
Why did that
he's going to drop behind...
He's come out behind Rick Holt.
Will he drop behind Techers' AI? Well, at least on the track, not in terms of position. It's going to be close. Techers' AI goes past the pit.
He has some, this is all this is now. It's just Techers' AI.
Techers' AI now moves to 1 lap behind the next car.
Yeah, just about to say, has unlapped himself after Natty's pit stop. But X90's going to have to try and find a way back. But what's going to happen here is, though, too sick. We may see something towards the end of this race, so be careful, because Dan Schneider played Dutchy 20-something lap-hold mediums each, and everybody behind them on soft tyres. Fresh soft.
That is a massive gap to close, though, as Jutsy's actually got front wing damage.
Dutchy, Schneider, slow down. We need some action.
Well, we're going to have a battle between those two in a minute, because...
Nexani's already got past Techers' car. Oh, Rick Holt quite close to Piero. We're going to see something here, Toussaint.
Oh, we are? I say comes Rick Holt now. He's going to have the DRS
Piero's got
coming onto the main straight now.
Sorry, it's just the
no, they don't have damage, thankfully. As now here comes Rick Holt with DRS. Piero's going to have to go defensive.
Rick Holt fastest lap.
They touch.
Oh, they made him contact. Somehow there's some form of action in this race for 6 drivers.
Here comes Rick Holt up Beau Rivage now. He's all over Pierre. So look to the outside.
No! Oh, that is so close between both of those drivers there, and providing us some action. So thank you guys, Pierre and Rick Holt here, providing us some form of entertainment.
But they've caught Jutsi though now. They've caught Jutsi. I'm going to go on board with Pierre.
Jutsi must have made a mistake. Yeah, Jutsy's
got
bad
heavy damage.
He's got heavy damage. He's made a mistake, Toussaint.
Oh, and he's letting them go.
He's moved out the way. He's moved out the way. That might allow
Rick Holt now in the slinching of the Alfa Romeo.
Rick Holt might have a good exit.
He's going to look to the inside. He's going to look to the outside. There's nearly contact. He's made the corner.
He's the corner a bit, but I think he might just get away with it.
He must have to give up that position. He must.
I don't even know what's going to happen.
He's gotten away with it.
I mean, to be honest, there's not going to be any points. This is just a special event, kind of fun race event here, just to kind of promote our Twitch channel here. But this race here has provided a lot of entertainment, and especially entertainment for you guys who are still watching. Whoever is still watching this, just a round of applause. That's all I've got to say. Just
well done. You have successfully reached the rank of madman, Stashman.
I mean, they might so call us madmen. So we've watched this entire race, qualifying, and the full race. It is nearly 10 o'clock. We've nearly had 2 hours of this race.
Can Dan Schneider get past Tekka's AI? He does.
So, Tekka's AI, though, apparently only a lap down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because Jutsy's behind him.
Jutsi just came into the pits.
Oh, Jutsi ran out of Jutsy's run out of mediums because he's come back out on a fresh set of. I thought he would have maybe gone for the softs, and maybe he's run out of those as well.
Yeah, he's got no fresh tires left.
Why is
he has
I want to see the pit stops in this race. Piero
has a set of the hard tires left that he hasn't used yet. Only Play Dutchy and Dan Schneider have a fresh set of the softs remaining. Piero definitely does not have any more soft or medium tires.
So Tuesday, do you remember you saying it looks like it's only going to be a one stop? And we were having this conversation. I said I'd really like to see 2 or 3 stops in this race, okay? I said I'd really like to see maybe even a 4 stop, okay? Let me run you through the stops, okay? Dan Schneider, 2 stop, okay? Already more than he should have. Play Dutchy, 2 stops, already more than he should have. Rick Holt, 4 stops, already more than he should have. Piero, 5 stops. X90, 3 stops somehow. I don't know how he's only made 3 stops. Jutsi, 5 stops.
Yeah, I think I ate my words quite quickly on that one. But now Play Dutch only 6.6 seconds now, 6.5 seconds behind.
We might see a battle at the end of this race. I need to get the stops off the screen here. There's not even any point in looking at position changes at that point. There's just no point.
As the Thompson in the chat said,
Jutsi's a lap down. Because Jutsi's just been overtaken by Oh! Someone's had an incident! It's Natty! It's Natty again.
He's spun!
It's Natty again, and guess what?
Has he got damage?
No.
I don't think he has damage.
Maybe
it's a miracle.
Maybe he's pulling off some donuts or something. I'm not too sure.
Is he doing some donuts? A celebratory donut on that 62.78?
Tobes, I like the comment. 5-stop triple undercut.
That is the comment. Can that go in the top 10 moments of the week?
Yeah, that's just a comment. Just what? Oh God! Natty loses the rear end and smacks the corner of. I can't remember the name of the corner. It's the guy who invented the Monaco track.
Anthony knows.
Yeah, thank you. Him.
Oh, Dan Schneider's in the pits.
Wait, Dan Schneider's in?
Yeah, for the soft tires.
No, but he's gone onto the softs, but he's 45 seconds ahead of Rick Holt. Look where Rick Holt is on the track. So Dan Schneider will come out in second, but what that's going to happen... now Dan Schneider's behind AB Tekka's lapped car, but what that's going to allow is Dan Schneider is going to now try and get down a 12.2 gap to Play Dutchy, so there's a fight still on, sorry.
But Schneider now needs almost a second a lap consistently on Play Dutchy to close that gap.
And he's got to get around Tekka's car first. AB Tekka's car defending? What is Tekka's car doing? Get out the way, Haas!
Goofy, watch out, Dan!
Get out the way, Haas! Move! It should be blue flagged.
He's got to be careful. He's going to do it into Portier.
Yeah, he's got the pass done.
As that second lap that he needs is now quite a bit more than that.
Dutchy might pit.
Dutchy might pit, yeah, but he'll definitely come out behind Schneider if he does that.
It'd be interesting to see, because if Dutchy can go clean, he won't pit. Or he might run into a little bit of a mistake here, so we'll have to see. As Dan Schneider is going to be gaining a lap, gaining 10th by 10th here, and that gap down to 14.8 seconds. But he's got to get it more than that to say if he's going to gain on Play Dutchy.
Yeah, definitely. He needs to get that gap down. He's got it down by over a second a lap now on those fresh softs. He needs to start to push, start to ramp up the pressure.
Again.
Oh no!
What is this turned into?
It's turned into, we're playing a game of Wreckfest, it turns out, ladies and gents.
We better get like a promotion or a pay rise after this, even though we don't get none of those. But
that 5-shot triple undercut message is still fine. I find it very funny.
I know, but I believe one of the viewers will be Gavra, because Gavra is looking over this whole race, unless Gavra's just given up. Gavra, if you're still
we've got
here,
another car in the pits. Piero's in the pits, really fumbling now as well. But how does he have a fresh set of soft tyres? How is that possible?
Too same.
What? Oh, yeah, it's a sector 3. It's a traffic jam. I think is that Dutchy? That's Dutchy.
It's
Dutchy's
Dutchy.
had a spin.
And I did say Touchy might go into a mistake, and I may have commentated cursed him. I apologise, but that's
Dan Schneider now 5 seconds behind.
5 seconds. And I was just about to say, Gavra, if you are still watching, pop me a message or pop a hello in the chat. But I'm not sure what happened there to Dutchy.
I think Jutsi hit Dutchy. I think Jutsi hit Dutchy.
Jutsy's got damage.
He's got heavy damage. I think he hit Dutchy.
And also, can I just remind you, Piero, a 6-stop race for him. So it's now the 6-stop triple.
How does he have fresh soft tyres there?
It's now the 6-stop. Maybe he went for a softer comp. Do you know how you can choose a softer compound before the qualifying?
Yeah, it must be that. Yeah.
So maybe he's opted to go for more sets of softer mediums. Then maybe he's just got one set of hard available.
I was going to say the Alfa Romeo mechanics just like stitching together tyres just from the lost rubber.
Just forming tyres together. Just just see them just in the pits. There's just a wheel just stitched together as he slaps it on his wheel.
As Tekkas has done 53 laps on those hard tyres, rather his AI has. As Dan Schneider now 2 points. Oh no!
Jesus Christ!
That was too close.
Ooh, that was
way
close.
Too close. As Shotzi's in the pits again.
Jobster's message: the 6-stop quadruple undercut by Piero. Gavra's still watching. Gavra, how? How? There's no point, Gavra. Go home. Gavra, it's 11 o'clock, mate, where you are. Go to sleep. Don't go. Pub at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, go to the pub. I don't know. Go to sleep, maybe. It's 11. Just, why, Gavra? There's no point in you being here. There's going to be no disqualifications. There's going to be no penalties.
We have a few drivers getting close to disqualification on time penalties.
There's going to be no penalty. Oh, Nat, just as I say that, Nat,
what's happened?
A 3-second time penalty, just as we said that.
I thought you said someone's about to get disqualified.
Someone is going to get disqualified soon, but...
how many penalties does Natty have? Because if you get 10 penalties, then you're out.
I mean, he picked up that 10-second time penalty.
Oh, damn.
Oh, a bit of a gap here. There's a bit of a battle. Toussaint, finally. It's Piero all over the back of Xnani. Remember, Xnani has that front left end plate damage.
I feel like this might end very badly.
I feel like this will end even...
Oh, Piero!
Piero hits the wall.
Piero has a massive tank slap from the exit of Casino.
No damage, though. No damage to his front wing. And imagine if we'd put this race on simulation. I feel like we would have had a 1996 at this point.
We would have had no cars finish the race, I'd have thought. As now here comes Piero, he's half a second down on the McLaren in front. Can he make a move now coming down towards the Nouvelle chicane? He's in the slipstream of the McLaren.
Topster put disaster incoming. Oh, Natty runs wide! Natty just missed the braking zone.
Oh, and Piero's got him.
Yeah, Natty just Natty just completely missed the braking zone and went off into the runoff, and then he was a bit late. Oh! Natty, we saw the same thing. Both went at the same time. This is just—it's not even commentary no more. What is this?
I thought that was.
He hits the wall again. That same wall he keeps hitting the rear off every single time. And what's interesting is Play Dutchy coming round to almost lap. It's getting quite close to lapping Natty, actually.
Well, I mean,
they're now in the same sector.
Can I just say, before this race in the F1 chat,
Dutchy, a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that's going to be interesting for the end of the race. But in the F1 chat before this race started, Play Dutchy said he would make it his challenge to lap Piero. They're currently separated by 3 corners.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm just saying.
What is gonna
Pierre
happen?
said that it would never happen, so he
In
might
the
be
words of
about to
Two
eat
Cent,
his
what
words.
manner of things happened here?
What manner of thing has happened here exactly?
Yeah, I mean,
I think-
Toaster might do. I mean, you said that's disaster incoming. It wasn't much disaster there, but yeah, it might go down to the wire for the win. As Dan Schneider actually, to say, closing that gap down to play Dutchy.
Definitely down to
Ooh,
3 seconds now.
Natty,
Ex-Natty,
another
another 3-second time.
How is this man not
How has he not been
disqualified?
exactly?
I can imagine a lot of fatigue is contributing to the amount of action we've had. But Toussaint, guess what?
What?
10 laps to go in this race. We're near the end. We're near
If you
the
told me
end.
that. Well, I mean, it's going to be really tight. Dan Schneider now 2.6 seconds behind. I think Dutchy's made a
believe
mistake
we
somewhere.
might have a half 10 finish, which would be half 11 for anybody in Europe.
What? Oh. I thought you were talking about the grid. I was like, what? How can I have a half 11 finish? Alright, so we've got 10 laps remaining here. Dan Schneider's closing the gap 2.6 seconds now, 2.5 seconds even. As the entire getting delirious up here in the commentary box.
Do you know what's worrying?
2.3 seconds.
Do you know what's worrying? Look where Natty is in the McLaren. And look where Dutchy is in the Alpha.
Oh dear.
Notice
Ex-Nat,
that-
if you can hear us, please just let him go so we can have a race.
I mean, I don't think Ex-Natty's ever gonna. I think this first time Ex-Natty will be lapped in quite a while in a Gavra racing race, but just again, what manner of thing has happened here?
1.9 seconds now the gap. 1.9. Dan Schneider's destroying the gap. Oh, he's run over debris. He might have a puncture. I think he's gotten away with it. Ex-Natty does pit, so he has listened.
He has listened. Ex-Natty into the pits. Can I just say, I believe Tobster, I think you're one of the people here. Anybody that's been here for the entire race, please put it in the comments below. Right?
Definitely.
Just
Me
make
and
sure you
Tiger
just
would like to know that we're
just
not
put
alone.
it in the chat, and we would just want to know who has been here from the start of qualifying or even the
But
start
Dan-
of lap 1.
Dan Schneider now has picked up a 3-second time penalty and he's hit the wall on the exit of the swimming pool. I don't think he has damage.
Vinay comes in and puts. Now that's a lot of DNFs, and he put. I just came. He just came in.
Vinny, you miss so
Vinny,
much.
Right? Is it Vinay or Vinny? I don't know, right? But
I
go
think
back
Vinay.
to lap 1 and just watch until Antelope retires, and then just forget the rest of it. Pretty much.
Well, forget the rest of it, you say that, but we've got 1.3 seconds now. We've got 8 laps to go here. Dan Schneider's pushing. He can see the win. He can see the top 7 of the podium in front of him. 1.2 seconds now. I'm just reading off the gap on the interval board.
Do you want to know something to say, right? It feels like that collision that we had at the start between It's Julio and Dirty Larry. Like, it genuinely felt like that was like a week ago in terms of races. Like, that's how long ago it.
Hang on, wait. Schneider's in DRS.
Oh, Schneider's
in DRS range.
Vinay, by the way, it says it doesn't let you go back. If you wait, this video will be uploaded on YouTube. It probably will either be late tonight
Euro's in sector
or
3. It's
tomorrow.
Natty.
It's Natty again.
Natty's got more front wing
What
damage.
is kid, honestly? What is he doing? But yes, but Vinay, if you want to, you had a nap. Oh, Tobster had a nap.
Between lap 2 and 58.
Brilliant, Tobster.
To be honest, that was the most action-packed part of the race, to be fair.
7 laps to go, Tobster. Yeah, you just saw the laps. I have the,
Wolfie has been here for the whole thing.
Wolfie, if you've been here for the whole race, I applaud you. But we've Vinay, yeah, we applaud you, Vinay. We've done this as a 100% special race here in Monaco. But if you head over to the Gavra Racing YouTube channel, make sure you go and pop a big subscribe over there as well. It will be uploaded over
Dan
there.
Schneider there, all over the Joe to interrupt, but Dan Schneider all over the back of
all
Play
over the
Dutchy
back of
now.
Play Dutchy.
He's got
Finally
much
some
fresher
action.
tyres.
6
He's going to have
laps
the
to go.
DRS.
No, we're going to have 5 laps to go.
5/10 of a second. 5 laps to
laps
go
to
as they
go.
cross the line.
After all of
This is going to be close. This is going to be so close.
It's going to be close here. Will Dan Schneider get ahead of Play Dutchy? Remember when Dan Schneider had that lead about a gazillion laps ago, Toussaint? And now he's going to try and take back that lead a gazillion miles later.
Thompson says, send it. Send it.
Thompson, send it.
Smooth operator.
Toussaint, can I just say, okay, this stream is 3 minutes away from being 2 hours long.
Oh, let's go for it, boys. 2 hour long stream on the casual.
Definitely, this is going to be interesting. But yeah, make sure if you want to replack any of the moments, it will be uploaded on the Gavra Racing YouTube channel. But for now, we've got a battle on our hands. It's Dan Schneider versus Play Dutchy. Let's have a look and see who was going to get the pass here. Ring Toussaint and practically going insane up in the commentary box. I don't want to see the Monaco. I don't want to see the Monaco track ever again. I've had enough. I don't.
But Dan Schneider's gonna be close enough. He's gonna have a DRS. He's 3 tenths behind.
Let's have a
He's gonna be close enough to have a
Dan
go.
Schneider.
Oh, he sent it! Oh
no! What manner of thing has happened here?
They've both got front wing damage.
I got the best view of that. They both were front wing damage.
Yes.
What on earth has happened there? Toaster, send it, ... I mean, he did send it, to be fair, he did.
That is a live chat curse, what you've just seen.
Oh my
Toaster shouting, send it. Dan Schneider sent it, and
oh my god.
He sent Play Dutch to Shadow Realm is what happened.
Do you remember when we had actual drivers in this race, Toussaint? Do you remember when we had 15 drivers? Do you remember when we had a race?
I do remember when we had 15 drivers.
Do you remember we had a race? This is not a race. Look, 27, 29, 34, 16 second gaps. So the only race we've got is between these. Ooh, what's interesting here, Toussaint, will any one of these drivers
will either of them pit? No, they both stay out.
No. Ooh, Dan Schneider no, both stayed out.
That's interesting.
And that's the end of that battle. Vinay, can I ask, Vinay, are you a driver in Gavra Racing, or have you just joined us from Twitch?
No, he is a driver. He used to be in the Premier Series, I think, for a little while.
That's fine, Vinay. You need to know what actual Gavra races are, so that's all good. If you don't know what actual Gavra races are, well, you do tracks where you can actually overtake on them, and the racing is fair, and there's usually not as much safety car and not as much damage between all of the drivers. And the racing, you will agree, is usually really competitive.
What this has done is just severely heightened my respect for the actual Formula 1 drivers who do 78 laps of this every year.
I'll tell you what as well. I appreciate now the fact why Gavra and his team haven't gone, let's do a Monaco race in a season. That's just, I can understand why now. I mean, I don't think it would be as bad if it wasn't. I think it wouldn't have been as bad if it was 100%. If it wasn't 100%, I think it would have been better. But I think we've seen now why Monaco isn't the best track for virtual league racing.
As Dan Schneider's now actually willing to close the gap back to Play Dutchy, or at least he was. He's maybe getting used to the car now that with lesser downforce on the front.
Vinay, I'm Quasim friend. Quasim is
Cryptech.
Cryptech?
Yeah, Cryptech is Qasim.
So he's Cryptech's friend. That's what he says. So I don't know many people, okay?
You know Cryptech though.
I know Cryptech, but I don't know Vinay. Well, this is good. Should put another plug in just to fill the time. Go and subscribe to the Gavra Racing YouTube channel. Make sure you support the Patreon. You know, always be helpful for Gavra and his team. We want to grow this league. So everyone else wants to grow this league? Well, we do. By the way, to say we are past the 2 hour mark now on this stream, by the way. But if you want to support this league, go, donate anything you can to Gavra. Make sure you subscribe everywhere, follow everywhere to make this league grow bigger and bigger. Because what we're going to do, Toussaint, we're going to
reach 1,000 subscribers. I hope that's the answer you were looking for.
No, I wanted to just say grow bigger and bigger again, but you just... Yeah, we want to reach 1,000 subscribers.
What?
It's been a long day.
Why
it's
is that
past
the
10
answer you were looking for?
I don't know. Just when you repeat it, just to make it more clear. I'm tired.
Oh no, Vinay is not a driver in Gavra. I think I was getting mixed up with someone else.
Vinay, hi. So Vinay, if you want to go and watch if you do watch the Twitch streams already, if you watch the YouTube streams on it says I watch live race on YouTube. So you do you watch the Gavra races on YouTube? Do you? The ones that we've had, the live ones. Because if you do, then this doesn't look like an abomination that's happened. I have. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, if you go watch the Freshman League, that's where the best racing happens.
Tiger, Dan Schneider's. Oh, yeah, sure. Dan Schneider's chasing down Play Dutchy now. It's 1.9 seconds to gap.
Series as well. Why not? Why either?
The Premier Series has been excellent this year. You've only...
Please chill. Okay, I got the message. Sorry, it comes through late on Twitch. So yes. Okay, chill, please. I'm sorry. Dan Schneider is getting closer.
Yeah, he is. 1.8 seconds now. Dutchy's going to start the penultimate lap of this race.
The penultimate lap. I've never thought I'd actually say those words. The penultimate lap of this race. Just remember, if Gavra ever suggests, let's do a 100% race around the track, let's not do Monaco ever again on a 100% race. So I think that's clear.
Yeah, but you'd want a 100% race around Singapore, and that would be 10 times worse.
I don't mind doing a 100% race if it's a track like maybe Brazil, Abu Dhabi would be bad, but Silverstone
or
maybe, Monza maybe, something like that. But Monaco just... Gavra, if you've learned anything, mate, don't do this again. Pretty much.
Ouch.
Pretty much.
Now, Dan Schneider now does that down to 1.8 seconds. Can he do anything on the final lap?
No,
please
Vinay,
don't send it again.
Vinay, don't say that. Don't say
Lobby
that. Don't say that. No, don't say that, please.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We don't have any lobby glitches. There's no. I don't have any lag on my end.
I'm fine. For now.
Yeah, I think Play Dutchy is somehow going to start the final lap of this race in the lead on 44 lap old medium.
This would have been an interesting battle, but I think really the damage on both cars has affected this battle. I think Dan Schneider, where is this damage? His damage is on the same side of Dutchy, so it's really affected both of them really, but I think it's affected Dan Schneider more, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it has affected the racing point driver a lot more than the Alfa Romeo was seen. We're on the final lap of this race now. Dutchy nearly puts it in the wall there almost.
I know. 45 lap mediums. I mean, if you'd witnessed AB Tekker's car before he pits, he was on 55 old hards, I believe he was on.
Yeah, but he's come into the pits now, so those didn't last as long as we wanted. So it's been 78 laps now, and we're still watching Play Dutchy in the lead.
Dan Schneider could get it on penalties. I'm not sure what the penalties are like between the two drivers.
That's true. Hang on a minute. Hold the phone. 1, 2,
if Dan wouldn't have taken the Rukan
3.
How do you say that, Tuesday?
Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, Dutchy's gonna win.
Right, as he comes round
if Dan
now
wouldn't have taken the Ragunathan line,
he's
yes,
coming to Raskas. It's the final lap.
He's nearly followed it. Oh no!
He's doing some cool, and he comes across
Dutchy
the line.
Wins.
Dutchy wins after all of that play. Dutchy wins the 100% Monaco Grand Prix. We started with 15, ended on 6. Rick Holt,
5,
I believe.
I know 6, yeah.
6,
yes. Finished third.
Rick Holt is going to take third. And I've got to say, an impressive drive from both Racing Point drivers, who are both, I believe, in the Weekend League. Sorry, I should know that. But both in the Weekend League. God, I'm having hiccups now, but...
Nexnati's finished 5th after all his shenanigans. Rick Holt rounds off the podium, then...
Piero's going to finish in... Oh no, Jutsi finishes ahead of Natty on penalties. Oh no, Natty's had a big crash and his wheels off at the start finish line.
Oh no.
I think his car's disappeared.
Wait,
no,
did X-Natty have that many penalties that Jutsi jumped him on pens?
I believe so, yes.
Oh my life.
But I mean, wow. I mean, it has actually been quite an exciting race. I mean, that first part, Toussaint.
Yeah, the first part was great. I mean, I thought Dutchy was going to crash then. On the end.
Yeah, Dutchy almost looked like he was going to crash, and that could have been very close. But I cannot believe we are finally at the end, Toussaint. We're at the end. Yeah, you gotta, Vinay, go and watch the start of the race, because honestly,
it's an all Dutch podium.
An all Dutch podium.
There's just three.
Wow,
there's just three Dutch flags.
Gotta say, Vinay, that the start of the race up until, what would you say lap-wise, Toussaint? It kind of started to die down a bit.
Tiger, if I could tell you, I'd tell you.
Oh yeah, I guess not. But there's your final grid. I mean, there's not really much more to. There's not really much more to say. The Dutch driver's clearly better than everyone else.
How many penalties did Ex-Nati had 37 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh my god.
How?
On Monaco, like on Monaco. But yeah, that's, you know, final grid. Yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm exhausted.
I am very tired. I thought Dutch was going to lose it on the line there.
Tomorrow for the weekend league. What else? Golden Crown next Thursday. Join me and Shaggy for another Wednesdays. Sorry, for another action-packed race between all the leagues. Thank you, Toussaint, for joining me.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Gavranovic, for making me and Toussaint endure pain.
I expect that golden trophy now.
I expect a promotion, Gavra. I expect promotion. I expect myself to be commentating every single F1 race next season. That is what I expect. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you like this video, make sure you go pop a big thumbs up.
And
thank you to our 101 comment on the stream. The stream is now 2 hours and 10 minutes. Anybody, right, okay, just quickly before we go, anybody who has watched this for the entire race, just pop in the comments now and we'll give you a quick shout out.
Vinay, this race was infinite. It was infinitely long. But it looks like it's ended, but it actually
How long
hasn't.
was this race? Well, Vinay, if the session, it was about 2 hours and 10 minutes long, mate. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, I think the whole race was about 2 hours and 10 minutes long. Yeah. I don't understand how Nat did not get disqualified, Tulsa, to be honest with you. But you guys have been like, you guys have been really cool. Yeah, you guys have been really good in the comments, giving us some.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes. In the chat even. Yeah, giving us some added entertainment. I think some much needed added entertainment.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we have to turn some of Tobster's jokes into memes because they are very funny.
Oh god, I'm gonna grab a quick video clip just so I can maybe make something out of it. But thank you everybody for joining us. Wolfie was here for the whole time. Wolfie, a legend. Shout out to Wolfie, everyone. Give Wolfie a round of applause. Wolfie, well done to you.
Well done to you as well, Jutsi.
Thank you, Jutsi. I mean, thank you for at least providing some form of entertainment for us, anyway. But yeah, big up Wolfie. Yeah, big up Wolfie. It'll go down in history, Wolfie. You will. But thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to Gavra's team for putting us through pain again. Not again. We enjoy we enjoy our commentary, don't we, Toussaint? We do.
Yes, we do enjoy our commentary, especially
but when it's 2 hours and 10 minutes long and there's only 6 drivers, you can understand our frustration. But it's fine because that is the end now, and yeah, we will see everyone next Wednesday, yes, for the Golden Crown, and tomorrow for the weekend league. So we'll see everybody then, and also make sure you join into the GE Sport on Thursday as well, where I'll be racing, Toussaint will be racing, and Ex-Natty will be commentating. So we'll see you then.
So he will be. See ya.